better pizza, Papa John's. Stay tuned. The kickoff to tonight's ACC Blue Dragon football game is just ahead on Eagle Radio. It's time for Hutchinson Community College Sports. The Blue Dragons on Eagle Radio are brought to you in part by Rothy Family Flooring, Erickson Custom Building, H&R Block, Prairie Star Health Center, The Medicine Shop, Ashcraft Pharmacy, Reno County Area Transit, RCAT, Next Tech Wireless, Midwest Ford and Toyota, Salt City Pawn, Anchor In and Anchor Away. And these Sportscaster Club members, Lowen Corporation, Burning Chiropractic, Dr. Robert Epp, Portfolio Recovery Associates, Green Vision Group, Craig Barkley Plumbing, and Mega Manufacturing. Sideline reports courtesy of Jackson Meat. All the exciting action of the Blue Dragons is on now. Let's go to the broadcast booth for the play-by-play with the Eagle Sports Crew on Eagle Radio.
On a stunningly beautiful football afternoon this Saturday in early September, what a treat we have for you on Country 102.9 and KWBW this afternoon. Probably the premier football game of the day in the junior college ranks. Hutchinson Community College's Blue Dragons, fresh off a win over number 5 Independence on the road last Saturday night, 37-27. By the way, the highest ranked team the Dragons have beaten on the road since Coach Ryan Rhodes has been here. Dragons were impressive in getting that win. They've moved up to number 11 in the national rankings. And this afternoon, they get a chance to climb a lot higher on the ladder, because in town are the Reavers, the River Pirates of Iowa Western, two coaches with great respect for each other, Scott Strohmeyer for Iowa Western and Ryan Rhodes for the Blue Dragons. Not only do they have respect for each other, they are among the best of friends. And year after year after year, these coaches assemble some of the very best junior college talent in the country. We have seen nothing to make you think that the Blue Dragons aren't loaded for bear this year. Iowa Western's Reavers also are 2-0, winning over Coffeyville on the opening Saturday of the season, 19-6, and then a win over Iowa Central last week, 26-20. These are defensive-minded coaches. This is the kind of a game this afternoon that could be decided by a field goal or a missed extra point. I think the matchup, Rob Dreher, is that good.
I agree, Rusty. And, you know, when you have two evenly matched football teams like this, you got to look at a couple of X factors. And to me, one of those is Iowa Western had to make that long trip to this football game. Hutchinson woke up in their own beds, went through the normal routine that they always do here at home, and things a little bit different for Iowa Western. Hopefully that plays into this football game, but I don't expect a lot of points to be scored. It is going to be incredibly difficult for either team to get a ground game going. It'll come down to a mistake or two. It usually boils down to about 3 plays a game that can determine when two evenly matched teams get together, and this one has the makings to be special.
And it may be a play made by the defense. Hutchinson, a team averaging 33.5 points a game in this young football season, and yet when you look at the Dragons statistically, number 5 in rushing in the league, number 6 in passing, those are not amazing numbers, but the defense has been so good, has gotten the ball back for the offense in great field positions, has scored some points themselves. I think the defenses may be the big factors in this game.
You know, one thing we got to also make note of, the Dragons will be without maybe their best defensive lineman on the season, as Clarence Hicks got suspended because of a couple personal foul penalties. We talked about that on Dragon Talk, and Ryan Rhodes says, you know, it was stupid. You've got to be smarter than that. You basically let your team down for this. It's a life lesson. Coach Rhodes told me he had to do a lot of extra stuff on the side that he's not going to enjoy doing, and he did a lot of that this week. I'm sure that young man feels bad, learned his lesson, but boy, would Hutchinson like to have him on the defensive side in this one here today.
Well, you heard me describe this Saturday afternoon as a stunningly beautiful game for football. Glenn Grunwald, in actuality, it's about 67, 68 degrees, overcast, but I think you'd agree it's perfect for football.
Yes, it is. Game time temperature actually 65. It's going to be a high of 68. Little bit of a breeze. If you look at that north end zone, in the south end zone, the flag's on top of that, kind of flittering just a little bit, but it's going to be a gorgeous day for football.
And Glenn, of course, will be on the sidelines throughout the afternoon, and for that we thank our good friends at Jackson Meat.
We all like to save money when and where we can, right? You can do that every day at Salt City Pawn & Jewelry. Hi, this is owner Paul Phillips inviting you to stop in and say hi to our friendly staff. And while you're here, check out over 3,000 square feet of great merchandise priced at outstanding values. We don't have to offer huge sale prices for one day only when we do that on a daily basis. Save big over retail prices on firearms, electronics, guitars and amps, name brand tools, video games, jewelry, and more. See us at 916 East 4th and Hutch, just east of 4th and Severance. We're proud to be alumni and supporters of all Blue Dragon athletics.
The captains from the two competing teams meeting at the 50-yard line for the toss of the coin. Now, this is an afternoon where there's just enough breeze to make it a little bit of a factor in the football game. It might make 5 yards difference in the length of field goal that you would try or not try. And the result of the toss is that the Reavers of Iowa Western will get the football, and presumably they will work against what little breeze we have.
Team captains, Rusty, were number 5, Josh Relaford, who's been an outstanding corner. Desmond Jackson, running back, great special teamer. Number 27, Caleb Bryce, 37, the fantastic linebacker, and offensive lineman 79, Robert Mervin, out for the Dragons. They are the captains, the leaders of this squad, as the officials run to their positions on the field, and we are ready for some football.
Blue Dragons will put the ball in play starting at the 35-yard line. That's where the kickoff occurs in the college game. And back deep for Iowa Western, David Isom standing inside the 5-yard line, right in front of the goal line, and off to his right, Michael Zachary. We're about ready to play what might be one of the more hyped football games that you've seen in quite a while.
Glenn Grunwald, as you're down there, look up in the stands. Amazing how many people have jackets on.
Yeah, and I left mine upstairs, so I might be coming up there to get it as well. Yeah, a lot of long sleeves. Like I said, 65 degrees. It's perfect weather for football.
You bet.
Sebastian Garcia is the Hutchinson kicker. He's a young man from Greer, South Carolina. Pretty good size, 205-pounder. And we're going to wait for the final 20 or so seconds to tick off of the pregame clock, and we'll be ready to play football.
Rusty, one thing Ryan Rhodes has talked to me about, and he has not been pleased through 2 games up to this point, has been the kicking game, kickoffs and kick returns. He feels like the Dragons can be better in those departments, and it is something that they have made a priority in practice this past week. They want to get better there.
The Iowa Western Reavers decked out in black pants, white jerseys, dark helmets. Blue Dragons in gray pants and blue jerseys, white helmets. And we are ready to play football, although the official's still standing there protecting the football and saying, not just yet. Now he's ready.
Yep, State Fair going on here in Hutchinson. Welcome to the Fair City and welcome to Blue Dragon football.
Garcia approaches the football, puts that right foot in it. It's a high spinning kick that floats down right at the goal line. Brought out quickly to the 10, to the 15, and an outstanding tackle on the run back. Daniel Isom brought it out. Looked like he might have a little room to run on the left edge, and he got grabbed from behind.
Number 18, Dante Madden, freshman from Belton, Missouri. That's what I talked about. Coach Rhodes made it a priority this week in practice. We've got to be better at our coverage, better at our blocks, better at our protection, and that's a good way to start the game.
Here comes the Reaver offense, and it is very much a passing kind of offense. As a matter of fact, Iowa Western has yet to score a touchdown this year on the ground.
We need a good pass rush in this game. That is no doubt.
T.J. Starks is an outstanding passing quarterback. He stands in the gun and gives off for a running play on first down, and predictably the Blue Dragons hold it to a gain of just a yard or two. It was Nifis West with his 14th carry of the football season, still under 40 yards. They go with the hurry-up offense.
Kamari Gaines, the first there to make the tackle from his backer position.
T.J. Starks steals a glance over at the sideline at Coach Scott Strohmeyer. Now he's ready. Drops back into the shotgun about 5 yards deep, standing right on his 15-yard line. Two-step drop, looking, floats it downfield, and it is overthrown, almost intercepted by the Blue Dragon defensive back there on coverage, Art Green.
That is one-on-one coverage, Glenn. You can't draw it up any better than that. He almost had a pick.
Yeah, Green had good position. If he would have went over the shoulder, just looked at the right time, would have had a pick, but brings up a key 3rd down.
And I think, Rusty, when you put this team in 3rd and longs, it's to your advantage with the pass rush that we have.
Quarterback all by himself. T.J. Starks in that shotgun. Trips to the right. 2 wideouts to the left. Dragons threatening pressure.
Yep,
Starks,
quarterback changing the play.
Yep, looks over at the sideline, comes up, says something to his center, again drops back in that shotgun. Drops back, pressure comes, the ball unloaded upfield. And that was pressure that got to the quarterback because the receiver, Javonte Richardson, had a couple of steps on the defensive man, but he had to throw it before he was ready. Nice pressure by the Blue Dragons and a very impressive defensive stand.
Number 4, Kelvin Clemens. First game this year, Ryan said, I didn't feel he played well from his corner position. Got much better against Independence. They feel like he could be their best secondary guy. It was blanket coverage, ball overthrown, good pressure, as you said, and a good way to start the football game.
Back deep for the Dragons, Jalen Irwin. He awaits the punt at his 35-yard line. Snap is okay. Punt is off. It is not long. Wynn grabs it. It hits right at the 50-yard line and will bounce dead at the Hutchinson 48. No run back, but good field position for the Blue Dragons opening drive of the game.
So special teams, you start off with a great kickoff, a good tackle, good execution. Defensively, you come out, you play sound, you force them to a 3-and-out punt. This time, you get the football for your offense basically at midfield. How about the offense start quick and get something on the board?
Mason Shucker is a quarterback, young man from Searcy, Arkansas. 6'4", good size. He stands back all by himself in the shotgun. Everybody in fairly tight in the formation. Now shifting back is Desmond Jackson. The Dragons start with Jackson trying the left side, and he'll pick up a couple of yards out close to midfield.
You know, you'll take 2 yards also. Just avoid the negative plays. Put yourself in a 3rd down and short when those opportunities come, and you've seen the Dragon offense this year so many times get in those 3rd down, 8, 9, 10 situations.
Here it is 2nd down and 8, just shy of the 50-yard line. And again, Shucker as his running back, this time on his left hip, takes the snap. Again, hands off, and Jackson takes what he can get in the middle of the pile and may be able to push the pile forward on the way down. Looked like it would be stopped for almost no gain. Turned it into a pickup of perhaps as much as they're going to say his knee touch right at the 50.
Yeah, they didn't give him forward progress. Whistle had blown. Very conservative start for the play calling here for the Hutchinson offense. Passing situation you would assume here on 3rd down and 7.
Shucker on the year, 21 of 50 with a pick. Drops back, has time, loads it up, throws it over the middle, complete for a Dragon first down. Across the 40 and down to the 38-yard line with the ball securely in his hands for the Blue Dragons.
Sky,
thought it was Sky Wilson.
Number 8.
All right, my mistake.
No worries. Great catch by Kareem Brown. He is a 6'3" big target out of Florida and just a freshman.
So a nice statement by the Blue Dragons.
That's a way to move the chains right there. And what composure by the freshman quarterback.
Now a new running back in there for the Dragons. That's Jonathan White. And he won't get a chance. The Dragons floated along, got a receiver behind everybody, but can't find the ball, and it's overthrown out of bounds anyway. Again, Jalen Irwin, he had some separation, but the ball floated out of bounds, incomplete.
Flag down Glenn Grunwald in the secondary.
Yeah, we'll have to see ineligible player downfield.
Yep, that would be one of your big guys up front, releasing too soon. Costly penalty last week. Hutchinson and penalties were not kind to him, and that is something Coach Rhodes and Dragon Talk Monday night said we have got to do a better job of.
Pass play was the same that Irwin scored last week on Independence. Also good to see Jackson in there. He was deeper on the depth chart because of injuries. Good to see him at running back earlier on.
He'll get some carries.
Passing formation here, 2 wideouts left. And again, Mason Shucker takes a snap. He wants to throw it. He has time. Throws. Got a receiver behind everybody. Missed him badly, though. Missed him badly by about 3 yards inside the 10.
Here's 2 things we know, Rusty. One, the quarterback is getting time to throw the ball. They've done a good job of pass protecting. And 2, Dragon receivers are coming wide open, winning their one-on-one battles. The wind is behind the quarterback's back, and he's been a little too strong.
That time it was Cephas Smith outrunning everybody. But the Dragons can't connect. It is a 2nd down and 15. Ball backed up to the 43-yard line of Iowa Western. Scoreless football game. Shucker steps up and now is grabbed. Grabbed from behind and goes down at the 46. It'll be a loss of 3 more. And the Dragons, after a promising strike on 3rd down to get the ball inside the 40 of the Reavers, now find themselves 3rd and very long at the 46.
Yeah, big number 98, Bell, defensive lineman from Iowa, getting penetration. And the official said something to the crowd.
Yeah, I see. The quarterback had to come off for equipment, so they're going to have to go with substitute quarterback very quickly. It's actually it was number 12, not a quarterback. Sorry about that.
No worries. They still have to, and that'll bring in number 13, Dalron Donaldson.
3rd down. Need close to 20 yards for a 1st down.
Officials blow the play dead.
Yeah.
It's a delay a game call. So 2 penalties on this drive now have been super costly. You're looking at a 3rd down and about 23 yards to go. It just is something that the Dragons have got to overcome.
And that is kind of an organizational problem.
Yeah, and the player having to come off the field.
That's what added to it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Man in motion across formation, then goes back to the other side. Play action pass, floated out, caught at the 45-yard line, and going only down to about the 41-yard line. Khalil McClain pulled it in. That's his 3rd catch of the season, but it is way short of a 1st down.
And I think you'll see the Dragons put the punting unit out there, and you know, your defense is going to win you this football game. Don't make mistakes offensively. You had a nice little drive there. Let your defense rest. Now try to pin them inside the, 15-yard line here and let your defense work.
We got a timeout taken because, again, it was personnel.
And a guy, this happened game 1, people forgetting that they're on a special team unit.
Costly timeout, perhaps. We'll see. 10:35 to go in this football game. Dragons will be punting when we come back in half a minute.
HCC Sports is brought to you by the Sportscaster Club members, Portfolio Recovery Associates, Dr. Robert F. of the Hutchinson Clinic, Barkley Plumbing, Burning Chiropractic Center, Tim and Gina Ritter, along with Brian Strange of the Green Vision Group, Sutton Kaufman Transmission Service, Wade Patton Insurance, A&A Builders, Bold Office Shares, Mega Manufacturing, MAYB, Mid-America Youth Basketball, Lowen Corporation, and by Mann, Wyatt & Rice, LLC. These Sportscaster Club members help provide funds for HCC scholarships.
Hutch High Salt Hawk football and basketball games are heard exclusively on Country 102.9. Thanks to all our generous sponsors of Hutch High Athletics, especially our Hutch High Booster Club members, which this year include Preferred Physical Therapy, the Hutchinson Clinic, Jackson Meat, Brickhouse Boutique, and Altvader Jackson Group, Waddell and Reed Financial Advisors. Without their help, it would be hard to bring you Salt Hawk Sports. Next time you're at one of these Booster Club members, be sure to thank them for providing Salt Hawk Sports on Country 102.9.
Matt Jones, the Hutchinson punter, angles it for the sideline. Actually looked for a moment like he might run it as he went to the right, booted it out of bounds, and effectively so right at the 10-yard line. Nice punt by Matt Jones. And so the Reavers will get their second crack at the football.
All right. Defensively, Hutchinson has done exactly what they want to do early in this game. They forced the Reavers to a 3-and-out their first possession. As I mentioned, if you can pin them inside the 15-yard line, you're loving it. And they've got the ball at the 10. Let's see if we can get another stop and force a punt out of the end zone.
T.J. Starks, he's not afraid to throw it, but he'll go with the run to the right. Actually, he faked the handoff and slipped away to the right, cut it back nicely, and T.J. Starks, with a rare run, picks up about 5 on first down. That was effective.
Caleb Bryce, linebacker, with a nice open field tackle.
He actually averages about 50 yards a game rushing, so that's enough running that the Blue Dragons will have to give some attention to the possibility that Starks won't throw it. He's back in the gun, drops back, rolling right, fires to an open receiver, and the catch is made for a first down at the 22-yard line. With the reception for Iowa Western, Daniel Isom.
Well, just what you want if you're Iowa Western. Move the chains and at least extend this drive a little bit and give your defense a rest.
So from the 22, again they go with a run, and this time getting to the second level and out to the 27-yard line. Knife East West, pretty well blocked by the right side of the offensive line there, and a nice gain on first down.
Jamard Morgan with the tackle. That's probably a little more than Hutchinson wants to give up in the running game. Hutch has been tough to run against, only allowing 41 yards on the ground per game.
So it is a 2nd and 5, gives you a lot more options. T.J. Starks from New Orleans, Louisiana, is the quarterback. He can really throw it. 31 of 39 on the season. This time he hands off, and this time the Dragons stop the ball carrier, Knife East West, for no gain. It'll be 3rd down, 5+.
Latrell Bankston, 56, defensive lineman from Georgia, and he made an outstanding tackle. So 3rd and 4. If you're Hutchinson, you want to punt right here because they'll punt into the wind, and the ball right now on the 28-yard line.
Starks awaits the snap. Drops back 2 steps, 3 steps, loads it up, throws it downfield, and it is going to be out of bounds. Caught, but out of bounds at the Hutchinson 33-yard line. Incomplete pass, and it will be 4th down.
Clint Grunwald, Art Green that time, did a pretty good job in coverage.
Yeah, and of course the sideline helped a little bit there as well, but you're right. I'm impressed with our defensive backs both games that we had. The coach kind of thought the linebackers might be questionable, but defense is starting to come together pretty good.
Boy, we have been solid. So much depth on that defensive line. Backers have been fantastic, and we're covering well on the back end.
Now it's Marquise Whitmire back there in safety for the Blue Dragons. Jalen Irwin was there first. The punt, again, is grabbed by that wind. There must be more wind than I think, but it does take a Reaver bounce and will roll down to the Hutchinson 37-yard line.
Yeah, in a little bit, just gusting just a tad. It says 3 miles per hour out of the northeast, but it's more than that on certain times down here. Look at that American flag plus the flag. Now, see, like the American flag's blowing right now, but the pole flags are doing nothing.
Well, I can tell by the way that ball nosed down in a hurry.
There's
wind up there.
Yep.
Certainly there's wind up there 25, 30 feet above the turf of Gowans Stadium.
Well, just what we thought. Offense has been tough to come by. 21 offensive yards for Hutch. Iowa Western with 20. Hutch's second possession here.
And the Dragons go with a run to the right side, and Desmond Jackson hesitates, waiting for a blocker, and winds up knocked down after a gain of just 2.
Dragons pulled their guard and tackle, and they were going power to the right, and still it's tough to get anything against this Iowa Western defense. The Dragons they're going to have to complete some of those long balls, work the middle of the field with the tight ends, and have some success doing that.
Mason Shucker ready to go.
He looks so much more comfortable already in Game 3 than he did that first home game here against Iowa.
Takes a snap, fakes the handoff, loads it up, throws it downfield. Got a receiver. It is caught, and it'll be a Dragon touchdown. Strike over the middle. Khalil McLean, and the Dragons lead 6-0.
Rusty, I told you, protection had been good. Dragon receivers had been winning one-on-one battles, and that receiver was open by 7 yards. The only thing you were up here in the booth saying is, please don't overthrow him.
It was delivered right on target, and the Blue Dragons strike first.
Wow.
7:44 to go, and now the extra point. And that will open up a lot of other things for the Blue Dragon offense. The extra point is up and good. And with 7:44 remaining in period number 1, Hutchinson 7, Iowa Western number 2 in the country, nothing. Back with a kickoff in 30 seconds.
This is Carter File, president of Hutchinson Community College. The proud tradition of Blue Dragon athletics continues this fall. I encourage you to take advantage of the Blue Dragon All Sports ticket. For just $60 for adults and $40 for K through 8 students, you can enjoy over 50 athletic events at Hutchinson Community College. These are general admission tickets that include football, volleyball, men's and women's basketball, baseball, and other selected events. Get yours today at the sports arena or at area Dillon stores. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and keep current with all Blue Dragon athletic news and events at BlueDragonSports.com.
Just as they did a week ago at Independence, the Blue Dragons the first to strike. Now at Independence, the Pirates bounced right back before Hutchinson completely took over the game before halftime. But what a nice throw and nice catch by the quarterback and the receiver. It was Mason Shucker right on target to Khalil McLean over the middle.
He is 3 for 4, 82 yards passing and a touchdown. Completion ratio, he has not been outstanding his first 2 games, but boy, he looks comfortable.
Nice kick, floats down, taken right at the goal line by Michael Zachary. Zachary in the middle of the field, able to get out only to about the 18 or 19-yard line before being mowed down, if it's appropriate to say mowed down on artificial turf.
Xavier Terry, number 14, South Carolina freshman, made an outstanding tackle. The Dragons on their kickoff teams, first of all, Rusty, you're getting the kickoff to basically the goal line, and then it sets up your runners to get down there and make a tackle. And you hold your opponent inside the 20, that's a job well done.
All right, Iowa Western battling from behind now. Quarterback T.J. Starks in the gun, running back on his right hip, and they're going to wind up with a batch of receivers on the right side of the field, and they deliver it out of the backfield to one of the backs. It was intended for Michael Zachary, thrown at his ankles. He's not able to make the catch.
Glenn, this has been the start Dragon fans needed.
Yeah, there really was. And, I mentioned Jackson earlier at the running back position. You're not going to see Aaron Collins today because he's on the sideline with a hurt ankle. So he's the premier back I talked about on the pregame that we're not going to see.
Right. Yeah, there was some fear of that.
It is a 2nd down and 10 at the 19. Starks takes the snap, pressure comes from the outside, steps up, throws it upfield, and it is caught, and a Hutchinson defender makes a mistake, and a receiver able to get about 7 or 8 more yards. That was a throw to Michael Zachary. That is the strike that gets the Reavers out of their end of the field, all the way down to the Hutchinson 47-yard line, and the hurry-up offense.
4 new players come in for Hutchinson. 23-yard Green is the guy that was beaten on that last long completion.
From the Hutchinson 47-yard line, Starks got his troops up to the line of scrimmage in a hurry, maybe changing the play, steps up, says something to his center, drops back in the gun, takes the snap, pressure comes, floats it out. Boy, oh boy, that'll be a holding call on the Dragon defender. No question about that call. Latavian Beaton really tangled up with a receiver.
Leads the Dragons with 2 interceptions on the season, but my goodness, yeah, you've got to be cleaner than that as coaches are barking at him. You want your corners, safeties to be physical, but that was an easy call for the official guys. Already 3 penalties on Hutchinson early in this football game, none for Iowa Western. They've come on the road and played clean so far.
And the ball with a penalty moved down to the Hutchinson 37-yard line. Reavers trying to get this one tied back up in a hurry. On the move, a drive that started inside their 20-yard line. T.J. Starks again looks over at the sideline. They get up to the line of scrimmage in a hurry and then take their time. Starks now ready. Dragons show pressure up the middle. Ball floated out to the side, and he hits a defender in the helmet. And that's going to be another call against the Blue Dragon defender, I believe.
That's Beaton again. There's a flag down. It was number 21, Beaton. That would be back-to-back penalties. And it's a pass interference call. It's an easy call.
I think he might have gotten away with it had he turned around and looked for the ball, but instead he was riding the shoulder of Michael Zachary, and the ball actually hit the defensive back in the helmet.
Yeah, just about a face guard type of call right there.
And that is the 4th penalty for Hutchinson. They've played well, but they've got to cut down on those. That's too many, and we're early in the first quarter.
At the Hutchinson 22-yard line now. There was the one long pass play to Michael Zachary. Other than that, the Dragons have gift-wrapped the last 30 yards or so of this drive.
Secondary will get tested in this one.
T.J. Starks ready, takes the snap, throws it quickly out in the right flat, catch made, and down the sideline all the way inside the 10 to about the 5-yard line. That's just a quick out, and Blue Dragons couldn't get it covered nearly quickly enough. Ball pulled in by Nick Singleton, his 14th catch of the season, and it is an and goal situation. They say he stepped out at the 9.
Well, it's blocked well, and that's what you got to do to make that play work.
Dragons have watched Iowa Western on this drive put together a mighty impressive move up the field.
Keep them out of the end zone.
And in motion, that's Zachary across the formation, left to right. Starks takes the snap, drops back, floats it up, and it's out of reach of everybody in the end zone. Lob pass intended for Javonte Richardson, well defended by the Dragons. It'll be 2nd and goal at the 9.
Yeah, it's Coach barking for a hold on that offensive line.
I saw it.
Yeah, I think I did too on that left side.
Kelvin Clemens, number 4 in coverage. He was fantastic, but one of those defensive tackles broke through. I thought was held. Could have been a call, wasn't.
2nd down and goal. Again, Starks looks over at the sideline, has to turn around to look back as they are deep in Dragon territory. Now he's ready to go. Need 9. They'll give it on actually a quarterback faked the handoff, kept it, and the Dragons were not fooled. I momentarily was, but not fooled at all for the Blue Dragons. Outstanding defender LT Eichner there.
Yeah, and Monty Montgomery, number 10, was in the vicinity. Actually, Eichner and him kind of sandwiched the quarterback, and that's what you want. If you can keep him out of the end zone here and make him kick a field goal, that would be a huge advantage because you had a couple of costly penalties on this drive.
They're probably going to air it out. They haven't scored a touchdown on the ground yet this season. 3rd down and 10.
Be shocked if they ran the ball here.
Dragons perhaps one play away from preserving a lead, you would think.
I think they're going to call a timeout, guys. Clock down to 5.
You would think that if it's a 4th and goal at the 10, it would be a field goal situation. They want to talk about it and make sure they make the best decision they can. 5:38 to play in the opening period. Hutchinson 7-0. And a big moment in this game for both teams when we return in 30.
ARCAT is now part of a regional transportation partnership with Sedgwick County Transportation and Wichita Transit. We are working together to provide rides to Wichita and back on Tuesdays. Wichita Transit has fixed route and paratransit service available within the city. Round trip costs range between $19 and $27. Advanced registration with ARCAT is required. ARCAT is first come, first served general public transportation. Call 694-2913 for details.
Well, it is a big moment. If there is a big moment early in a game, Hutchinson would like to force a field goal. And obviously the Reavers, who started this drive inside their own 20, would like to end it with a touchdown.
TJ Starks 3 of 8 for 54 yards passing, and Dragons would like to see that go to 3 of 9 and force an incompletion here and settle for a field goal. It depends on what you get on this play here, but I would think you would make him kick a field goal if you can get a stop here.
Starks all by himself. Quick throw over the middle. It is caught, and the Dragon makes a touchdown-saving tackle at the 5-yard line. That was a spectacular play from behind. Looked like all kinds of running room, and then all of a sudden, there wasn't any more.
24, Thomas, freshman from Alabama. You called it perfectly, Rusty. If he doesn't make that tackle, it's a touchdown, and you settle for a field goal. If you're Iowa Western, what a great job.
Yeah, it really was. They flooded left zone, and he was probably the intended receiver anyway, and was wide open. Good job by the defense.
And so they'll settle supposedly for a field goal try. Straight on should be an easy kick, and it is up, and it is good. So Iowa Western answers the Dragon touchdown with a 3-pointer. The Dragons will settle for that kind of trade, and we have a 7-3 contest. Under 5 to play in the first quarter, and more football just half a minute away.
Just as the Hutchinson Blue Dragons athletics are a tradition, so is the Anchor Inn in downtown Hutchinson. Whether you plan lunch or dinner or even take out for home, the Anchor Inn is a great family restaurant that you are sure to enjoy. Order off their great menu or take advantage of the Anchor Inn's awesome buffet. You'll make a great choice either way. The Anchor Inn is also a great spot to meet up with old friends and acquaintances because everyone goes to the Anchor. That's the Anchor Inn at 128 South Main in Hutchinson, proud supporters of Hutchinson Blue Dragon athletics.
Glenn Grunwald roaming the sidelines for us on this chilly but very nice Saturday afternoon for football. Glenn, that was a big moment.
Yeah,
there's a lot of big moments when you stop by Jackson Meat.
Exactly. You stop by Jackson Meat. Matter of fact, you got about a half hour today to do that. Pick up some steaks for tonight. It'd be great. Of course, they're located at 13 West 6th Avenue. And give them a call, 665-4465. 662-4465.
Dragons hanging on to a 7-3 lead, 4:57 to go in the first quarter, and here comes the kickoff, and it is deep against the wind, but returnable, taken at the 7-yard line, brought out to the 10, to the 20, to the 25, to the 30, and out close to the 35-yard line. Nice bring back for the Blue Dragons by Jalen Irwin.
Boy, that is fantastic. Special teams in this game have been special, and that is what has been lacking at times this year. Get a return out to the 35-yard line, you set your offense up nicely. Hutchinson looked pretty good on their last drive, and we would like to see move the ball here and give your defense a little bit of rest. They were on the field a long time for that last drive.
Well, both offenses have to be feeling a little bit better about themselves, having produced some points on their last trip.
Oh.
Desmond Jackson is the running back. High snap, and they give it to Jackson. He's looking for somewhere to go and can't find any space at all, and he will wind up back at the line of scrimmage and not an inch farther. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, that time the defensive front won. Hutch's offensive line just couldn't get a push. Running back was kind of trying to find any kind of crease he could get through, and there was nothing there.
Timing on that play was thrown off badly by the high snap.
It was not a good snap.
2nd down and a full 10 to go for the Blue Dragons, and quarterback Mason Shucker back by himself, now joined by his running back. Takes the snap, takes the handoff, wants to throw, gets hit as he does, and this could be intercepted. It is up in the air, and it is intercepted at the 45-yard line of Iowa Western. That is a defensive play made up front that results in a pass interception by Jamarian McDonald.
Chester Graves, number 4, hit the quarterback. Not on him. Poor pass protection. He was hit as he threw. There is a flag on the play. This might be something after the play took place.
It's excessive celebration.
And that'll help Hutchinson. But
well, he took a hit on that.
You just, boy, in games like this that are evenly matched, unsportsmanlike conduct. Number 4, that's the guy who made the sack, and then he got up and showboated about it, so that's going to cost his team.
Jamarian McDonald gets credit for the interception, but it was set up by the pressure by Chester Graves. I understand why he's celebrating, but you can't do that in this game.
Huge. It's like a good punt, ball back at the 31-yard line. Just the first penalty, though, on Iowa in this game.
Now let your actions do your talking. I mean, he had a heck of a hit. It affected the play. Go over there and get a pat on the back from your coach.
I always tell kids, you can celebrate in the film room when we watch this in front of the whole team. You can showboat and talk, and just don't do it on the field.
Ball thrown out in the flat. Dragons defend it well. And then a couple of broken tackles. Another broken tackle. Still running for basically no gain. I'm going to tell you what, it was a remarkable job by Jason Harrison. Caught the pass on the far side of the field. Broke 2 or 3 tackles and winds up still losing 3 yards. I think you'd say great lateral pursuit by the Dragon defenders.
It was Jalen Pickney, who stayed home, 44, who cleaned up that tackle. Loss of about 3.
So it is second down at the 28-yard line of the Reavers. Hutchinson leading 7-3. Rusty Hills, Rob Dreher, and Glenn Grunwald with you on Eagle Radio on this Saturday afternoon. Time for the quarterback to throw, and he loads it up, and he throws it long, and it is incomplete. Well, there's quite a bit of contact between a couple of defensive backs, but no flag this time.
They're saying just incidental contact.
Guys, and if you're watching up front, Glenn, I mean, it seems like a Dragon defender is busting through and getting held about every play, and they're letting them play.
Well, so far, it's been about 90% pass. It's just a couple runs by the Reavers, but Rusty indicated they haven't rushing touchdown all year long, so they're primarily pass-oriented.
And they'll almost certainly throw it here again on 3rd down and 13.
Like to get a stop after the turnover.
T.J. Starks has trips to the wide side of the field. That is the right side. And now
timeout.
It will be another timeout taken by Iowa Western, their second of the half. We will break as well so you can hear from these good folks over the next half minute.
NextTech Wireless Advance Pay gives you great coverage, 4G LTE data, and you'll love the price. Plans start at $25 a month. NextTech Wireless Advance Pay is hassle-free too. No contracts, no credit checks, and you can even bring your own device. Sign up now and get a free month of service when you purchase a new device or receive a free Moto E smartphone with new activation. It's Advance Pay at NextTech Wireless, starting at just $25 per month.
Hi, Brian Bobo, General Manager at Midwest Toyota. Well, it's that time of year. That is model year closeout time. And at Midwest Toyota, we have the rebates on select models of $1,500 on new Tacomas, new 4Runners, and Highlanders, with a $3,500 rebate on select Siennas. This is the only time of year that you're going to see these kinds of rebates from Toyota. So hurry out while selection is best. With rebates like this on Toyotas, they won't last long. Come see us today at 1100 East 30th or online at MidwestSuperstore.com.
Pushed out of the pocket, rolling to the right. He has room to run, but he will not get to the first down, and it'll probably bring up a punt situation. He was able to scramble for close to 10 yards, but it will still leave 4th down and 5.
Well, it's a great job by 37 Caleb Bryce. He's been one of the best linebackers, a returning player for Hutchinson. They'll put the punt return unit out as it will be Marquise Whitmire to go back and return the punt. Hutchinson defense doing its job after the turnover, but boy, that penalty was so stupid for Iowa Western on the unsportsmanlike conduct.
Yeah, we'll take it, though. We'll take it.
Oh, you bet we'll take it.
Pretty good punt. Now the wind grabs it, and there's
a lot of flag. Yeah, there it is.
Flag because no opportunity to make the catch was given to Marquise Whitmire, so the Dragons will get some penalty yardage tacked on in their favor. Should get the ball out across the 35.
Yep, that'll be the second penalty of the game against the Reavers, and That's another costly one. Hutchinson now will set up shop at, a decent part of the field, and you've got to try to make the most of the opportunity here. Hutch leading 7-3, 2:24 to go in the first quarter of play. This one has lived up to billing.
That is a major penalty.
Yeah, it's a 15-yarder. I mean, you guys can get hurt with a play like that, and it should be the maximum yards that you're penalized for.
So good field position for the Dragons. Hutchinson has yet to get the running game going.
Yeah, the Dragons right now, guys, rushing the football 1 yard of total offense. It's all come through the air.
Hutchinson really missing Aaron Collins.
He is special.
They'll try with a new running back, and same result. No room whatsoever for Jonathan White. Might have gotten a half a yard.
Penetration, and when you go back and watch the film, there's going to be some Dragon linemen that are not going to like some of these grades. That time, one of the offensive linemen just whiffed, and the guy went in the backfield and makes a tackle, and you have got to get contact up front and at least get a little push.
Second down, still 10 for Hutchinson at its own 47-yard line, leading 7-3. Shucker wants to throw, has all kinds of time, and finally runs out of it. That is a coverage sack downfield because Shucker had all kinds of time to throw that football.
As a quarterback, guys, there's a timer in your head, and you've got to know, and you get this as you mature and play more football, but you got to know the pocket is going to break down. Live to play another down, throw the ball away, and so it's third down and 10. Instead, it's third down and 16.
Yeah.
He will learn that.
He was about to do that, and then his own lineman kind of backed up into him and kind of caused another little bit of hesitation, and down he went.
Tough now to get out of this. Don't do anything silly here. If you have to punt, that's fine.
Let's call a screen. Let's go with a screen.
Shucker, back to throw. Pressure comes. Sets up a screen, dangerous play. Nice job by the receiver, eludes one tackler, and gets upfield to the 46-yard line. That was a good job by Jalik Jagway. The timing on the screen was not quite what the Dragons were looking for. They got back the lost yardage, but that leaves 4th and 10 in another punt situation.
The good thing is you're punting with the wind at your back. Probably the last time that you're going to have the opportunity here in the first half to say that, as Hutchinson gets the punting unit out there, and we'll punt the football.
Well, maybe Garcia's back there.
They'll punt the football.
Yeah, I think he's going to too. He's also their field goal kicker. That's what I was wondering.
Bad snap.
Oh, my goodness.
And the Dragons turn it over at the 36-yard line.
All right, did something happen to Matt Jones that we don't know about? Because Garcia was out there, and Jones is usually the punter.
I'm going to tell you, that snap was perfect, and it hit him right in the hands, and Coach Ryan Rhodes right now is absolutely blowing him up. And he understands that is the most basic play you are ever going to make, and your football team is working hard. You can't make that mistake.
But a good get on Glenn's part, because Garcia is used to place kicking, and he was being asked to punt.
First and foremost, though, guys, you have to catch the ball. I don't care if you're in third grade. You have to catch it, and if you shank the punt, fine, but you cannot miss the snap that is right back to you.
Iowa Western with a great opportunity goes with a run, and a broken tackle will give an extra couple of yards on the carry to Knife East West. Might be the last play of the first quarter.
I think
it's
will.
A gain of 4.
And, Glenn, maybe you can find out why the punter wasn't out there.
I'm going to try to find Jones and see where he is.
Because that's bizarre.
And costly.
Wow.
Dragons gave up probably 60 yards of field position.
Yeah, because you have the wind at your back. You were going to get off a good punt. That'll end the quarter, and the first one's in the books.
And after one, 7-3 Blue Dragons, but again, the Reavers testing the Dragon defense. Second period starts in 1 minute. That's 60
Needing
seconds.
Repairs, parts, belts, or bags for your vacuum? How about free pickup and delivery for any service? Hi, this is Donna Pitzer, the bag lady. I work on all vacuums, including Auric, Kirby, Simplicity, Riccar, Hoover, Kenmore, and all Panasonics. I can get bags and parts for almost any vacuum. Plus, in most cases, I'll save you up to 40% on your bag purchase. Best of all, I deliver at no charge for parts and service of your vacuum. Call me Donna Pitzer, the bag lady, at 663-4322 or text vacuum cleaners to just text it.
It's football season, when the weather is warm one day and cold the next. Stay ahead of cold and flu season by drinking plenty of liquids, getting enough rest, and keeping your hands sanitized. Come see the friendly folks at Ashcraft Pharmacy, your locally owned Health Mart pharmacy, for over-the-counter medications to help alleviate symptoms. And if you need a prescription, we offer free mail-out, free delivery, or call ahead for our handy curbside service. Go Dragons! From Ashcraft Pharmacy in the Hart Shopping Center, South Hutchinson, and Health Mart, caring for you and about you.
One other penetration by Iowa Western down in this area of the field. The Blue Dragons were able to hold the Reavers to a field goal. Now, this time it was a poorly handled snap from center on a punting situation that set the Reavers up. They picked up 4 yards on first down, so they start the second quarter down 4, but at the Hutchinson 32, 2nd and 6.
Funny thing out, Glenn?
Well, Matt Jones is okay. He's an offensive lineman. He's either with the offense talking. I think, and also it's K/P on Garcia. I think he just wasn't ready.
Wow. Quick out to the right side of the field, broken tackle and down the sideline, and this will be all the way down to the 2-yard line.
12. Stepped out at the 12.
Okay, Nick Singleton took the reception. And the Reavers are hurting Hutchinson on pass plays to the sideline, not over the middle of the field, to the sideline. And they have particularly been adept at working the right sideline.
But the last time they got in the red zone, Hutchinson held them to a field goal. You're going to have to ask your defense to get another stop here. They'll have 3 opportunities at minimum to get it in.
TJ Starks hands off, and a little bit of a hole. And through that hole for about 3 yards. 3 yards on the carry. Looks like might have been Nifis West, and it was.
Jamard Morgan, 30, the first there.
Second down at the 9. Again to the run. And they're starting to get a little bit of offensive line surge, maybe a little bit of control of the line of scrimmage. And now it is 3rd down and about 3 at the 5. Again, a quick handoff. And the Dragons make a nice play. Nice grab from behind on Nifis West. That will hold him short of the first down.
And that was L.T. Eichner in the backfield.
Whoops, I said short. They gave him a first down. The quarterback kept it. I followed the fake.
Boy, they're going high-octane offense, quick tempo here.
It is 2nd and goal from the 1. My mistake. Good job by the quarterback. Back to the run, and I think he cracked the end zone. It is a touchdown. A touchdown by Nifis West. And capitalizing on the Blue Dragon mistake in the kicking game, it is Iowa Western starting to establish a running game, the first team to do so in this game. And now Iowa Western leads 9-7.
Talk about usually 2-3 plays in a game decided. Well, we've seen one of them. A perfect snap from center to a guy that's not normally your punter. Hit him in the hands. He dropped it. Costly turnover, and it cost him a touchdown and an extra point.
So the Blue Dragons, after the successful extra point, trail 10-7, 13:50 to go in the first half. And Hutchinson will try to regroup, see if they can cover up for the mistake, and get back on top. All of that in 1 minute.
HCC Sports is brought to you by the Sportscaster Club members, Portfolio Recovery Associates, Dr. Robert F. of the Hutchinson Clinic, Barkley Plumbing, Vernon Chiropractic Center, Tim and Gina Ritter, along with Brian Strange of the Green Vision Group, Sutton Kaufman Transmission Service, Wade Patton Insurance, A&A Builders, Bold Office Shares, Mega Manufacturing, MAYB, Mid-America Youth Basketball, Lowen Corporation, and by Mann, Wyatt, and Rice, LLC. These Sportscaster Club members help provide funds for HCC scholarships.
Well, let's see if the Blue Dragons can find an answer. Trailing for the first time in the game, 10-7. 10 consecutive points by the visitors from Iowa Western. Deepest of the Blue Dragons is Marquise Whitmire. He stands right on the goal line.
And Hutch's offense for the first time in the game will go against what is maybe a little bit more of a breeze than you think here at Gowans Stadium.
Kickoff will float into the end zone. The Dragons will not bring it out. And Hutchinson will set up shop at the 25-yard line. One big problem, Glenn, for the Blue Dragon offense so far in this football game, they have not established any sort of rushing attack.
No, they hadn't, and neither had the Reavers until that last little drive right there set up by the botched punt. But you're exactly right. They got to get some run going. Again, they do not have Aaron Collins out there. He will not be in this game. He's in street clothes with a boot on. They won't have him, so somebody else is going to have to do it.
Hutchinson minus 17 yards rushing in this ball game.
Yeah, you're not going to win many where you have negative yardage on the ground. Dragons go to Desmond Jackson. He slants to his left and picks up about 3 to the 28-yard line.
And they are a hard-earned 3. This defense up front is stout.
If you're going to establish the rushing game, you are going to have to start controlling the line of scrimmage. And although I would say for the most part that battle has been a wash, certainly the Reavers did a much better job of it on that touchdown drive after the fumble on the punt. Dragons fake a reverse and then hand off and pick up about 3 yards on one of the stranger plays. You'll see Desmond Jackson wound up with it, got about 3, 3rd down and 4 at the 31.
Misdirection, but this Iowa Western team is just so disciplined, so sound. Guys know where they're supposed to be. They don't make mistakes, and that's the difference between them and Independence. Independence would make mistakes on defense. Iowa Western doesn't.
Dragons would dearly like a first down to see if they can get back, and they might have just drawn an offside.
That's from my vantage point an offside. Yeah, I hope so, because that would give Hutchinson a first down if it is a 5-yard offside penalty.
Yeah, quick update from Manhattan. Halftime, Mississippi State 17, the Cats at K-State 3.
And it is an offside penalty. That will give Hutchinson a first down. It'll be the 3rd penalty of the game against Iowa Western for 35 yards, and it moves the chains, more importantly, Rusty.
Glenn, is that game at Manhattan? I think that game's on the road. It is at K-State?
It's in Manhattan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cats with a lot of work to do there. First down at the 36.
Mississippi is ranked, by the way. And another offside penalty. Quarterback doing a great job with the cadence, and it's the guys up front. As long as there wasn't a head bob, this will be an offside penalty, 5 more yards, and you have to watch the football and not listen to the cadence.
So the Blue Dragons may be a gambling down here. You've got a 1st and 5. You like to think you can pick it up with 2 tries, so it might be worth taking a shot downfield. We'll see what the Dragons choose to do.
I like the call, Rusty. Throw it right here and let's see what happens.
Single wide outs to each side. Mason Shucker hands off, and the Dragons will get close to a first down on the carry by Desmond Jackson. His knee touched at the 45. That'll be a yard shy.
Yeah, a yard shy. They say second down.
Which is great, because here's another one of those downs if you want to get creative, knowing that on 3rd down it would only be a yard to pick up the first. You can gamble a little bit here if you want.
Dragons have been pretty conservative. Let's see whether they continue. Shucker looks over at the sideline. Wide to the right side of the field. That's the wide side, Jalen Irwin. He's dangerous. He's got one-on-one coverage over there.
And he can get open in a hurry.
Shucker hands off, and there's a hole off the left side, and a nice run by Jackson as he makes his way across midfield to the 47 of the Reavers.
His 8th carry, 17 yards rushing, and Hutchinson on this drive starting to win some of those up-front battles, and they, for the most part, did all that running the football. That penalty, 2 penalties certainly helped, but Hutchinson on the move trying to come back from a 10-7 deficit.
Substitute White in for Jackson. Jackson's got something in his eye.
Jonathan White is grabbed behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, he was absolutely blown up. Winfrey, the big defensive lineman from Chicago, got penetration. Somebody forgot to block him. That's not good, and it's a huge loss on first down.
You cannot run backwards in a junior college game. Maybe in high school you're quick enough that you can turn it into something positive. In the junior college game, particularly in the Jayhawk Conference, you are just going to gobble a lot of turf if you start running backwards. It's a loss of 8. And in motion across the formation, they fake the reverse. The ball thrown over the middle, and it is just out of the reach of the intended receiver for the Blue Dragons, Cephas Smith. That time he was pretty well covered, but a perfect throw would have put it right in his hands.
He split the two defenders. There was a corner in coverage, a safety helping in the middle. The ball had to be perfectly thrown and was about a half a yard too much. You can't ask for much more than that. Dragons just missed, and now a 3rd down 17.
Mason Shucker has that one long touchdown strike. It was a similar play over the middle. Now they go back to the run, and White is cut down, loss of a yard or so, and the Dragons will punt.
Yep, 97 again. Winfrey getting penetration. Hutchinson has got to find a way to block that big man because he is just blowing up the Hutchinson offensive line, forcing plays to go backwards, and the offense sends out the punting unit into the wind.
And now the punter for the Blue Dragons is Matt Jones. Not sure why he wasn't out there last time.
That's a question we'll ask Coach Rhodes, and it is one that is haunting the Dragons at this point. Good punt.
Angled for the sideline, instead in the playing area and fielded at the 15-yard line and brought back on a nice return out to the 27.
Wow, that is a good tackle. Xavier Terry, second time he's made a special teams tackle. Glenn Grunwald, if he doesn't make that tackle, he's probably running for another 30, 40 yards because nobody else was there.
So the Blue Dragon defense will be called on to prevent any further damage.
And a penalty, a legal block in the back. I didn't see the flag. It was clear across the field. That'll be penalty number 5 for 50 yards. So, you know, the Dragons had their problems with penalties in that first quarter. They've kind of cleaned things up since. Now it's Iowa Western with some mistakes. Dragons would like to get a stop here.
Well, this is a Hutchinson secondary that's pretty doggone good at picking off passes. And I would think that the Reavers with the lead and the ball inside their 10 would be cautious. But we'll see. T.J. Starks has a lot of confidence in his ability to throw the ball. Instead, he goes to the run. And a good job of running with his back toward the end of the field that he is running toward, able to get out to the 11, maybe the 12-yard line.
40 yards rushing now for Iowa Western. Hutchinson is still a -7 in the rushing department in this game, but Iowa Western getting 3-4 yards a hunk.
And back to the run they go, and a nice hole. And bulling his way out to the 19-yard line is Knife West. He's starting to get some confidence. Hadn't done much rushing the football this year. 13 carries coming in for just 36 yards, but he is making his presence felt right now, and that's a first down.
Ryan Rhodes said we have to make him one-dimensional. Well, on this series, they're becoming two-dimensional, and that's a problem.
And that time, they go to the well one more time, and West not able to go south at all. He's cut down for no gain.
Glenn, they're certainly wanting to snap this ball and go quick, aren't they?
They are.
I don't know, we might have lost, might have a dead battery down there with Mr. Grunwald, and we'll try to fix that.
No gain on the first down carry. Ball situated right at the 20-yard line. T.J. Starks with a 2nd and 10 and a timeout, Blue Dragons. Timeout comes with 8:24 to go in the first half of this game. It is Iowa Western 10, Hutchinson 7. This is a 30-second timeout.
HCC Sports is brought to you by the Sportscaster Club members, Portfolio Recovery Associates, Dr. Robert Epp of the Hutchinson Clinic, Barkley Plumbing, Burning Chiropractic Center, Tim and Gina Ritter, along with Brian Strange of the Green Vision Group, Sutton Kaufman Transmission Service, Wade Patton Insurance, A&A Builders, Bold Office Shares, Mega Manufacturing, MAYB, Mid-America Youth Basketball, Lowen Corporation, and by Mann, Wyatt & Rice, LLC. These Sportscaster Club members help provide funds for HCC scholarships.
Well, back at Gowans Stadium, and Rusty, during the timeout, I was telling you that L.T. Eichner, number 41, for whatever reason, didn't know that he was supposed to be on the field. Dragons had 10. That doesn't usually work well. Coach Rhodes called a timeout, and he was the first to greet Eichner on the sideline and say, dude, you got to know when you're supposed to be in the football game, and they're addressing that problem as it is a 2nd down and 9 with Hutchinson trailing 10-7 here with 8:24 to go in the second quarter.
And we will see whether that timeout taken there hurts the Dragons later in the half. They still have one timeout left.
And Iowa Western also with just one timeout left, as both teams have had to burn 2 of them already.
T.J. Starks back to throw. Pressure comes, steps up in the pocket, unloads, and just misfires out at the 45-yard line. Open again is their most talented receiver, Michael Zachary. Just simply couldn't put it on target.
They had the matchup they wanted, guys. That is number 10, Monty Montgomery. He's a linebacker. That's not your safety or corner. They got the mismatch they wanted, and Montgomery was beaten. Thankfully, the ball was overthrown.
5 wideouts.
And there's a penalty, and this is going to cost Iowa again, as I think the play clock went down to 0, or false start, excuse me.
So it comes back 5. It is 3rd and 15 at their own 15-yard line. No question that was to be a pass play. T.J. Starks all by himself. 3 wideouts to one side, 2 to the other.
You know, the Dragons haven't been able to get a lot of pressure on the quarterback either, which has kind of surprised me.
This time 2 wideouts to the short side of the field, that being the left, a couple to the right. And T.J. Starks says something to his center. Play clock at 5, now 4, now 3, now 2. Gets it off, drops back, loads it up, steps up, throws it as hard as he can. Got a wide open receiver, but misfires at the Hutchinson 40-yard line. And I mean wide open. 3 steps on the nearest defender. That was what Nick Singleton had, but not able to get him the football was T.J. Starks.
Latavian Beaton, number 21, has had a tough first half. He's been called for 2 pass interference calls, and that time he was absolutely torched on that route. And thankfully the wind is stronger than I think the quarterback thought. Receiver threw his hands in the air and he said, my goodness, I can't get any more wide open than this. Get me the football. Hutchinson very fortunate on that play.
And Starks coming into the game had only 8 incomplete passes in 2 games. Punt is off. Nice Spyro taken by Whitmire at the 44-yard line. Needs a block, doesn't get it, and is able to get back just across the 50 to the 49 of Iowa Western.
Late flag. It was John Schmidt, 28, making a nice tackle for Iowa Western. We'll sort this penalty out, but we have had a lot of laundry on the field in this one.
This one came late enough that it is one of those penalties that you're tempted to say is a stupid penalty.
Yeah, and let's hope it doesn't cost Hutchinson, because blocking the back, it does, and you would have had the football at the 50.
Yeah, I can understand that penalty, though. You're trying to get a block to cut Whitmire loose. I thought it was something that happened after the play was blown dead.
5th penalty for Hutchinson, and 45 yards of penalty yards against the Dragons as they'll set up shop. Still good field position. You got the ball at the 41-yard line. 8 minutes to go here in the second quarter. Wouldn't it be nice to reel off some first downs here and get yourself a score?
It is 10-7, Iowa Western leading Hutchinson. Hutchinson was the team to score first. Hutchinson paying dearly for a mishandled snap on a punt. Dragons throw it out in the flat and get the ball in the hands of Jalik Jagway, but he can't do anything with it after the catch. Got about a yard.
They close so quickly on defense. I mean, that play looks like it's going to go for at least 4 or 5 yards, and just that quick. They shut it down. You're only getting a yard.
2nd down, 9. Clock on the march. We're right at the middle of the second quarter. A 10-7 football game. Iowa Western. Ball thrown out of the reach of Hutchinson's intended receiver. That time they were looking at Peyton Bowens on the right side. Can't get him the football, and it's 3rd down.
Shucker, 5-9, has a pick, also an interception or a touchdown, and he was under pressure that time as the offensive line was just collapsing.
The toughness of running the football really hurting the Dragons right now. Ball thrown over the middle, and catch made right at the 50-yard line. It is short of the first down. Nice defensive play by Willie O'Hara of Iowa Western prevented the Dragons from getting a first down. Hutchinson wants to go for it on 4th and 1, but I'm not sure that Coach Rhodes is going to buy that. He sends the punt team in.
It's a 3-point game. You know, don't risk anything. Punt the ball here. Put your opponent deep. Your defense is playing well enough to win this football game, and it's only a 3-point game. I like the call here.
Matt Jones is the punter, Inexplicably, he was not in there for the... Oh, they snap it short and run ahead and pick up a first down. Snapped it short. Fake punt works for a Dragon first down at the 48, and the crowd really applauds.
I like it too. What do you guys think, huh?
I'm going to...
chance, but still.
I'm going to tip my hat and say, Coach Rhodes, you fooled me, because I didn't think there was any way in the world we were going to do anything but punt the football there, and that is just a gutsy call by Rhodes and his staff.
Let's see if the Dragons can make it pay off. 6.5 minutes remain in a 10-7 first half. The Reavers, number 2 in the country, over the number 11 Blue Dragons of Hutchinson. Shucker by himself. Throws quickly out to Desmond Jackson. At the 50, spins to the 40-yard line, steps out of bounds there with a gain of between 7 and 8 yards on first down, and that's more like it.
Perfect call. Blitz coming from the side the quarterback is looking at. Gets rid of the ball. You don't have as many defenders over there because you bring an extra guy on the blitz, and Hutchinson gets 7 yards on first down. That is just what you want.
Again, Shucker, the quarterback, Mason, all by himself. Now Desmond Jackson comes back, sets up shop on his left hip, and Jackson will get the carry. Jackson puts his head down. Got a yard, looks like he might get more, and then he is jolted backwards like he ran into a Mack truck.
Yeah.
Belted backwards.
Good defensive play right there by the Reavers, and you're exactly right. It looked like he's going to get maybe another first down, was not able to.
It is third and very short at the 38-yard line of the Reavers. Probably 4-down territory. This time Shucker goes right under center, barking out the signals. He goes straight ahead, flag tossed into the pile. We'll see what got called.
Well, here's two things, Rusty. One,
and here's another flag, a late flag.
All right, 3 things happened. 1, the Dragons didn't get the first down. 2, I think Hutchinson false started, and then at the end of the play, I think you have a personal foul that is going to be against the defense, and they're going to have to sort all this out. I have a mess to clean up. But Hutchinson trying to quarterback sneak it, and the quarterback's got to recognize that, guys. Did you see they had 2 guys that were playing linebacker that all moved to the middle? There was no way you were going to get a first down with a quarterback sneak. And then I think you had the false start and then a personal foul after the play. Yep. There's your false start by Hutchinson. Okay, so you get 5 yards on that. Dead ball, unsportsmanlike call against the defense.
So the net effect, the Dragons will pick up 10.
That is
minus
perfect.
5 and plus 15. You'll settle for that kind of mathematics all afternoon long.
See, that's the kind of math Glenn and I can do.
I can even figure that out. You know what? I can even figure that one out.
Some math teacher way back in ancient history taught you guys something about signed numbers.
I don't know.
What does that mean?
I don't think that happened. You're the only ancient history teacher that I know.
You be nice.
Glenn, well, to be honest, Rusty, you've been teaching 52 years?
Yeah, this is the 53rd.
Goodness sakes.
At the 28, Hutchinson trying to get back on top in this game, in which it currently trail 10-7. Shucker gets a high snap, hands it off to Jackson. He has a hole, cuts to the outside, and is dragged down from behind. Tremendous defensive play, prevented what looked like a 10 or 15-yard gain, turned it into just 3, and what a terrific job done by Rodney Owens of Iowa Western.
If he doesn't make the play, it's a first down. Still, you get 3 yards on the gain, but that was a special play by the defender.
2nd down and 7 at the 25. High snap over the head of the quarterback. Dragons go back, and Shucker has to dive on it back at the 42-yard line. Twice in this game, it has really hurt.
Here's what happened. The snap was awful. The quarterback dove on the ball, and then an even stupider play, an Iowa Western player dove at the quarterback with his helmet. This has to be a 15-yard personal foul.
It should be. At the same time, the ball kind of squirted away from the quarterback, and that was a situation where he tried to get back to it. Then the hit took place.
They're talking about it. I don't know how it could be.
Iowa Western's pointing at Hutch.
Right, but he came in like a missile with the quarterback on the ground and hit him with his head. This has to be a personal foul, and I hope they don't talk themselves out of it, because I had as good a view as anybody in America with what the defender did to the quarterback. And we're going to see, I think that's what it's going to be. Okay.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness.
That's a good situation.
Well, inadvertent. Wow. So that wipes out a loss for the Blue Dragons from the 25 back to the 42-yard line. Wipes out a 17-yard loss. It's second down all over again.
Unless they would have counted the personal foul penalty that the referee called. So that play was just a giant mess from the get-go. But, hey, let's just redo it.
That is a couple of times in this game. The Dragons have a problem from time to time with a very high snap.
Yeah, and that shouldn't happen.
Mason Shucker is 6'4". He's a good athlete, and that thing was way over his head.
We had a couple ones last week that were close to that, too.
Yeah, we did.
Center cannot. I mean, I can understand maybe one time a game, but you do that so much you can do it in your sleep.
Second down and 7. Given a reprieve. Let's see what the Dragons do with it. Mason Shucker, long count, got to hurry. Loads it up, throws it out toward the sideline, and incomplete. Not a good throw.
Yep, underthrown. Receiver tried to come back to the football. That's Jalen Irwin. I thought he was going to adjust and be able to come back, but it was just that much underthrown. He couldn't even make the adjustment.
So it is third down. If you're thinking field goal, probably not. It would be a 42-yarder against the wind.
I don't think so. And this might be a situation where you've got 2 downs to get 7 yards. So let's see if they view it that way.
The running back for the Blue Dragons is Jonathan White. And the Dragons test the inside and don't get much. Maybe a yard, maybe 2 yards to the 23. It'll be fourth down and 6, and a strange call on third down.
Well, like I said, I felt like Hutchinson viewed that as you had 2 downs to get 7 yards. Now it's going to be 4th and 6. Probably going to go for it. Doesn't do you much good to punt the ball here. And now you, I guess, drop back and try to complete a pass for a first down.
Boy, it has been tough to run on the Reavers.
We just knew that points were going to be tough to come by.
See what Shucker does. He's by himself. This is a pass play, or I suppose a quarterback draw on outside possibility. Now Desmond Jackson comes back. He's to the left side. Another high snap. Shucker unloads, throws it over the middle, and it is intercepted in the end zone. And crazily, they're going to bring it back out, and it's working well, bringing it back out across the 20 to the 23-yard line. After the pick for Iowa Western is Daniel Isom.
It was picked off in the end zone, and then as he brought it out, what you're going to have is a block in the back against Iowa Western. Just no chance. And the quarterback that time throwing into triple coverage, really no chance for the receiver there, and that's just not a good play for the Dragons.
It has not been a good half for the Hutchinson offense.
Illegal block by Iowa Western. So fortunately, it's going to back them up probably to maybe the 9-yard line or so, and they're going to get another chance, though, to score.
Dragons would love to force a punt down here, but if you give up a first down, you won't have that opportunity because of the extra timeout Hutchinson had to call when Eichner wasn't on the field.
Glenn, they're going to actually put it at 7.
Yeah, they mark it back at the 7, so the block of the back must have taken place at about the 25.
And there's a situation where Isom, after making the pick in the end zone, should have just stayed there.
Yeah, I mean, and that's your instinct. You want to come out and make a spectacular play. Rarely happens, and Hutchinson's fortunate that happened. You have 1 timeout left. You need a 3-and-out here if you're the Dragons. And, worst case, you go into the locker room down 10-7 and feel fine about yourself. Just don't do anything silly here.
Well, T.J. Starks would like to do something silly, like put together about a 97-yard drive, and he makes a nice move to get away from it. Or actually, that is Clay Beathard that got away for a run out to about the 11-yard line. Beathard is a pretty good passer and runner of his own.
Corner had to make the tackle that time. Art Green, 23, as it's normally been the D-line and linebackers.
Beathard stays in there, keeps, throws it out in the fat, dangerous pass. Boy, that was close to a pick 6. Dragons couldn't come up with it. It's incomplete. It's 3rd down, 6.
Latavian Beaton, guys, leads the Dragons this year with 2 interceptions. He darn near had his 3rd.
He would have been in the end zone about 3 strides from where that pick would have occurred.
After seeing that play, Iowa Western may run the ball here and punt.
Beathard replacing T.J. Stark, stays in the game. It is third down, more like 6.
Crowd trying to make some noise, make it difficult for the offense.
Beathard drops back, has all kinds of time, now starts to run out of it, breaks free, throws it upfield, complete in the middle of the field. This is going to be potentially a big gainer, and it's all the way out across the 40 to the 42-yard line. Beathard buying a lot of time with his feet, able to get it to knife east-west for a big gain up to the 42.
Caleb Bryce made the tackle. He's down on the turf. That's going to prompt a timeout. He's kind of slow to get back to his knees, but you see it happen. You think you have the sack. It breaks down. Quarterback goes up in the pocket, delivers a strike, and that is a costly play for Hutchinson.
And now sideline violation takes place right in front of Coach Rhodes, so more than likely that's going to be on the Hutchinson bench, guys, on top of all this.
Bryce is going to be all right. He comes jogging off the field. He'll be back.
When the quarterback for Iowa Western was able to get flushed out of the pocket, Rob, like you described, the defensive man had to leave his man to come up and try to make the tackle, and that's when he dumped it away, and nice game by the Reavers.
And so now you have a unsportsmanlike call. It's number 44 of the Blue Dragons, which is Jalen Pickney.
And that's 15 more.
He was just disqualified as well.
And he is one of the Dragons' best pass rushers. You're already playing this game without Hicks, who was your best pass rusher, and guys have got to be smarter than that.
All of a sudden, the Reavers, who look to be punting from inside their 10-yard line, all of a sudden they have it at the Hutchinson 43, and they're thinking about expanding this 10-7 advantage that they currently enjoy. 2:42 left at the Hutchinson 43-yard line, and Beathard doing a dandy job at quarterback. He stands back there with 2 wideouts to the left, throws that direction, delivers it right in front of his receiver, who makes the catch and takes it upfield for 6. That is a pickup by Nick Singleton before he goes out of bounds.
Art Green, 23, in the coverage, making the tackle. Dragons right now need a fumble, need a turnover, a pick, anything to stop this momentum.
Iowa Western on the move at the Hutchinson 38-yard line. High snap, pulled down by Beathard, gives it to his running back, and they plow straight ahead for a first down at the 33-yard line. Ball popped loose late. Dragons say they got it, but I think the officials are going to say the ball carrier was down, and that is indeed the call. It was on the carry, knife east-west, and they had it on the turf before the fumble.
Well, we'll say 59 yards rushing now to Hutchinson's 2, and they have started to get things going on the ground.
Again, they throw back to the sideline, and it works. Down the sideline, loose. And this one will go all the way into the end zone if he didn't step out of bounds, and he did not. Again, the Dragons burnt on the pass to the sideline. Marcel Barbie pulls it in, and the Blue Dragons just got burnt big time. A touchdown drive of 90-plus yards.
That's a costly one because you had your opponent back on the other side of the field, and a couple of mistakes, penalty, a guy losing his composure, and the next thing you know, you give up a touchdown.
And that's what good teams do. They take advantage of your miscues. And the Dragons have had a couple. The extra point is almost out into 11th Street, but it's perfect. 17-7, and now the Dragons. A 10-point deficit, that's easy to overcome, but maybe not against a defensive team like Iowa Western. There's a flag resting down there. Something happened on the extra point. That penalty will likely be assessed on the kickoff, which will occur when we return in 30 seconds.
For over 15 years, Erickson Custom Building has designed, built, and remodeled homes and commercial projects in central Kansas. Whether you're looking to replace a deck, wanting to build an addition, or remodel your kitchen, our customers receive individualized attention, quality craftsmanship, and exceptional customer service from start to finish. Erickson Custom Building offers new construction and remodeling services in addition to commercial and insurance projects. Visit our website today at ericksoncustombldg.com.
Well, the Blue Dragons will have to bounce back. This has been a stunning development. The Dragons scored the touchdown, the first touchdown of the game, led 7-0. Hild gave up a field goal. It was 7-3, and then the Dragons made a mistake in the punting game, a fumbled snap, and turned it over. Iowa Western capitalized, and then that time the Dragons apparently had the quarterback trapped and sacked inside the 5. He gets free. Dragons give him a penalty, and then a big pass play down the sideline to Marcel Barbee, and all of a sudden it's 17-7. And number 2 in the nation looking pretty comfortable right now in Gowans Stadium.
They just don't make mistakes, and Hutchinson has made a couple of them, and we'll see if they can dig out of it, but you're not going to return this kickoff, as Hutchinson will get it at the 25, and you got to be careful here as well. You don't want to give the ball back to Iowa Western before halftime.
On the other hand, any kind of points would be so helpful. Right now it is a 2-possession game. Hutchinson will get the football to open the second half. But boy, do the Dragons, they have to find a way to get untracked in the rushing game, I think, in order to come back and win this game.
2 yards rushing for Hutchinson. Total offense, 204 to Iowa Western, 106 for Hutchinson. Quarterback Mason Shucker, 7 of 13, has 2 picks and a touchdown. Needs some points here.
The Dragons test the ground, a little slant to the left side. A pretty decent job. They'll pick up some yardage, but not much. Maybe 2 or 3.
Yeah, 3 yards is about the most I can recall on a run. Maybe 1 run more than that, but this team just doesn't give up yardage on the ground. You gotta eventually start completing some passes and moving the chains.
And instead they go back to the run, and this time there's a little bit of a hole, and through it out to the 36-yard line for a first down goes Desmond Jackson.
Still a timeout left. Maybe you want to get that first down to see, because you don't want to give Iowa Western the ball back, so now maybe the play calling changes a little bit and you try to at least go down and get a field goal.
Shucker with his running back, a couple of steps to his left, in the gun, takes the snap, fakes the handoff, throws it low. Threw it right at the feet of Jalik Jagway. Not a hard throw at all, just hurried it and fired it into the turf.
Yeah, Jagway will tell you, I got to catch that. It wasn't a great pass, but sometimes receivers got to help the quarterback out. Had he caught it, there was a good block on the outside. He's probably going to get 5 yards minimum, and instead you're looking at 2nd and 10, but the clock did stop.
Shucker, hands off, a little bit of a hole, a little bit better hole. Jackson threw it out to the 43-yard line. That'll be a gain. Let's call it a gain of 6. It'll be 3rd down 4 with a minute to go in the first half.
Last 2 runs have been the best for Hutchinson, and Jackson now with 13 carries has about 44 yards rushing. He has been by far the best runner. Missing Collins today.
Yeah, Aaron Collins, one of the leading rushers in the nation, and not able to play.
Ankle injuries are not fun. Boy, they can linger and linger.
Boy, the Dragons are taking a long time. 3rd down 4. They finally snap it, and they throw underneath. Jagway with the catch down the sideline, steps out of bounds at the 47.
It's a first down. You get out of bounds, though, with 26 seconds, and you got that timeout left. Now I think you try to get aggressive. And I understand Coach Rhodes, Rusty, because you got it. There's a balance. You don't want to, leave a lot of time on the clock, not get a first down, give them the ball back. You're already down 10 now. It gives you a chance to maybe attack here a couple of plays.
Dragons probably can't afford to run it at this stage anymore in the first half. A couple of wideouts to the right side. Mason Shucker brings one of those in and then sends him back to the right. Back to throw is Shucker. Unloads underneath, catch is made with a knee on the ground for a gain of 7, and Hutchinson will spend that final timeout. Jalen Irwin hauling in the pass play. It'll be 2nd down 3 when we return to Gowans after this half-minute timeout.
The Hutch Medicine Shop and the Hutch Blue Dragons have a lot in common. In addition to our logos both being blue, all 3 pharmacists at the Medicine Shop graduated from HCC. Rick Stone in 1984, Brent Bellman in 2001, and Lacey Stone in 2007. In fact, the Medicine Shop has employed over a dozen HCC students over the past 15 years who are now Kansas pharmacists. The Medicine Shop and the Blue Dragons working together as one team.
17-7 our score. Iowa Western number 2 in the country leading number 11 Hutchinson on the Blue Dragons home field. We are in the waning seconds of the first half, 20 of them remaining, with Hutchinson at the Western 40, second down. 2 wideouts to the short side, 2 wideouts to the wide side, and the ball thrown underneath, and the Dragons make a catch and running out of bounds with it immediately after a gain of about 4. That was Jagway. Now 17 seconds.
Rusty, I think that might have been a gain of a yard, and you got to know as a receiver, you want to get out of bounds, but you at least got to go to the first down marker. So it didn't take much time off the clock, but now you're looking at a 3rd and short, and if you run it, you're going to have to get back to the line of scrimmage pretty quick.
Yeah, clock will stop on the first down,
right,
but you're going to waste 7 or 8 seconds that you probably will need. And they'll go with the run. Very conservative football. They got the first down. That'll stop the clock with 13 seconds to go. But they'll wind it again as soon as they get the down set. Dragons are quickly up there, ready to go.
Yeah, maybe, there you go. Spike it. It's smart. So now you got maybe one play to the sideline before trying to kick a field goal, because where you're at on the field right now, you're not kicking a field goal.
No, the wind, and it's picked up a bit. Not a lot of wind, probably 10 mile an hour in their face. But right now, if you would look at a field goal, for example, it would be a 52-yarder. You got to pick up at least 20 yards to have any reasonable try at a field goal.
And you would like to have at least one of those timeouts you burned prematurely, because guys not knowing that they were supposed to be on the field earlier in the first quarter.
2 receivers stacked over on the right side. Now Whitmire comes back to throw is Shucker. He is chased out of the pocket, looking. This will be the last play of the half, and he throws it upfield, and it is not good. And the first half comes to a close on the incomplete pass. And number 2, Iowa Western, putting it to the Blue Dragons just a bit at halftime. It is Iowa Western 17, Hutchinson 7. Our halftime show from Gowans begins in 2 minutes.
Just when you thought you were done with taxes, you got a letter from the IRS. Maybe you're being audited, or maybe you filed for an extension and still need some tax help. We at H&R Block are there for you. We don't stop working on April 15th. Our tax professionals are here to help you year-round. So if you have tax issues you need a hand with, even if H&R Block didn't do your taxes the first time around, visit our offices in Hutchinson, Lyons, or Ellsworth and let our experienced tax professionals help get you every dollar you deserve.
The Rothy family name has always been connected to serving the Hutchinson community, and you can expect the same kind of high-quality service when you visit Rothy Family Flooring. They believe you deserve to be treated like family, so they've invested in their own talented and trustworthy installers to lay your floors. No outside contractors will ever knock on your door if Rothy works for you. Let them show you their expansive selection of name brand flooring, and trust your home to the best. Rothy Family Flooring, 325 North Main, Hutchinson.
Prairie Star Health Center has become a proven resource for workplace medical needs. From pre-employment and DOT physicals to treatment for injuries, drug and alcohol testing to wellness programs tailored to your needs, you'll find Prairie Star's professional, certified staff highly capable and efficient. And I think you'll be very pleased with how cost-effective we are. Prairie Star Health Center, 30th and K61 in Hutchinson.
When you're looking for jewelry that's one of a kind, remember Amelia Bedelias, filled with thousands of beads and stones. And with my passion for design, I can create something that's perfect for you. Amelia Bedelias, 115 and a half South Main Street in downtown Hutchinson. Go Blue Dragons!
This is Kelly, owner of Brick House Boutique. Don't pack away your summer pieces just yet. It may still be warm, yet summer to fall fashions are here at Brick House Boutique. Comfortable and affordable casual clothes at 117 South Main in Hutchinson. Big city chic in a downtown boutique.
Six 663-7681. You say, what a strange way to start a halftime show. I'm giving you the number of the Medicine Shop. This is the Medicine Shop first half game capsule. The Medicine Shop, terrific pharmacy. I mean a terrific pharmacy in a town that's blessed with a lot of them. Conveniently located, you'll find the Medicine Shop at 14th and Main, and you'll find competent, very capable pharmacists, friendly folks, competitive prices, free delivery, lots of reasons to like the Medicine Shop. I know I certainly do. We talked in the pregame that this game might well go to the team that makes the fewest mistakes. Both teams played pretty good football in the first half. Neither team putting on a great offensive show, but in all honesty, I can think of two big mistakes by the Dragons, and both of them cost them dearly. The first came on a mishandled snap from center in a punt situation, a snap that frankly shouldn't have been mishandled. Dragons didn't get off a punt, turned the football over to the Reavers at the 35-yard line, and they were able to take it in and score from there. And the second mistake for the Blue Dragons came when Hutchinson apparently had Iowa Western collared inside the 5-yard line and forced into a punt situation. And Beathard, outstanding quarterback, got loose, scrambled for what would have been a first down, then was able to complete a pass upfield. And the Dragons added on 15 yards, and all of a sudden the Reavers were able to put a drive together, culminating in a touchdown pass to Marcel Barbie of 33 yards. And the Blue Dragons, after leading this game at 1.7-0, trail it at the halftime break 17-7. First downs in the first half, 12 for Iowa Western. Hutchinson had 9. Neither team could run the football. 58 on 16 carries for Iowa Western. That's about 3.5 yards a carry. Hutchinson on 22 tries, just 23 yards. Dragons averaging 1 yard a carry. Offensive line has to do a better job than that in the second half. Passing yards, 146 for Iowa Western, 123 for the Blue Dragons, leaving Iowa Western with 204 yards of total offense in the first half. Hutchinson had 146. The leading rusher in the game is Desmond Jackson of the Blue Dragons. He has 48 yards on 14 carries. Nobody else has been able to get anything done. Knife East West leading the rushers for the visitors. Knife East with 31 net yards in the first half. Two quarterbacks for Iowa Western combining to go 9 of 18. 6 of 14 the stats for T.J. Starks, 77 yards. Clay Beathard had 3 out of 4, 69 yards and a touchdown. By the way, the Reavers did get a rushing touchdown in the first half of this game. That's their first all season long. 4 catches for Nick Singleton, really hurting the Dragon cause in that first half. Michael Zachary caught a couple of balls for 40 yards. Jalik Jagway, 4 catches for the Dragons, but all of them underneath, all of them short yardage catches. 4 catches for 19 yards. Mason Shucker only went 10 of 18. Not a bad stat, but he did have 2 passes picked off. He also had a touchdown strike to Khalil McClain that opened the scoring in the game. But not enough scoring for the Blue Dragons. They trail at halftime 17-7. This has been the Medicine Shop Game Capsule. We'll take a 2-minute break and be back with the rest of our halftime show.
HCC Sports is brought to you by the Sportscaster Club members, Portfolio Recovery Associates, Dr. Robert Epp of the Hutchinson Clinic, Barkley Plumbing, Burning Chiropractic Center, Tim and Gina Ritter, along with Brian Strange of the Green Vision Group, Sutton Kaufman Transmission Service, Wade Patton Insurance, A&A Builders, Bold Office Shares, Mega Manufacturing, MAYB, Mid-America Youth Basketball, Lowen Corporation, and by Mann, Wyatt, and Rice, LLC. These Sportscaster Club members help provide funds for HCC scholarships.
This is Carter File, President of Hutchinson Community College. The proud tradition of Blue Dragon athletics continues this fall. I encourage you to take advantage of the Blue Dragon All Sports ticket. For just $60 for adults and $40 for K through 8 students, you can enjoy over 50 athletic events at Hutchinson Community College. These are general admission tickets that include football, volleyball, men's and women's basketball, baseball, and other selected events. Get yours today at the sports arena or at area Dillon stores. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and keep current with all Blue Dragon athletic news and events at BlueDragonSports.com.
When the air conditioning in your car doesn't work, it makes you feel like clothes left inside a dryer. If your car is making you hot and wrinkled, why not ride an air-conditioned RCAT bus to take you where you need to go? RCAT is first come, first served general public transportation. All buses are ADA accessible, have great air conditioning, comfortable seats, and skilled drivers. Fares range between 50 cents and $1. Call 694-2913 for information.
Just as the Hutchinson Blue Dragons athletics are a tradition, so is the Anchor Inn in downtown Hutchinson. Whether you plan lunch or dinner or even take out for home, the Anchor Inn is a great family restaurant that you are sure to enjoy. Order off their great menu or take advantage of the Anchor Inn's awesome buffet. You'll make a great choice either way. The Anchor Inn is also a great spot to meet up with old friends and acquaintances because everyone goes to the Anchor. That's the Anchor Inn at 128 South Main in Hutchinson, proud supporters of Hutchinson Blue Dragon Athletics.
Welcome back at halftime. It's the Reavers of Iowa Western 17, number 11 Blue Dragons 7. Reavers ranked number 2 in the nation. Now join me, the commissioner of the Jayhawk Conference, Carl Heinrich. Glad to have you along, Carl. Again, you're in your first official year. You moved up from last year, but no stranger to the Jayhawk Conference as you're the past athletic director of Johnson County.
Yeah, it's been a wild ride. I kind of rode the coattails of Bryce Roderick last year as an assistant commissioner, and he kind of got my feet wet, and it started July 1st and been hit the ground running.
How many events do you try to make? Is it constantly on the road, or just how often are you on the road with your position?
Well, it is on the road quite a bit. The month of August, I think I put over 2,000 miles on it for going to different events, and from, of course, this time of year, from volleyball to football to cross country, soccer. We've got a lot of activities going on, so I could almost go to an event every night.
All the whole conference in all the sports really starting to become a very premier league. Already has been, but at the same time now with some changes within the scholarship situation really has brought several sports to the forefront.
It has. We're competing on a national level, which we always have done, and it's the bar's been raised by past teams and sports, and the success of the Jayhawk Conference has been second to none across the country. I've had the opportunity to serve on many NJCA committees and get to see some national events, and definitely the Jayhawk Conference is second to none to anyone in the nation.
Now, you had the day in, day out position as athletic director at Johnson County, then stepping out at, it's kind of a little bit of retirement, but really you went full force into a full-time job, and not sure you got your priorities straight there, Carl, okay?
Well, I was retired for 8 hours, but my wife said that's enough. Get back to work.
And that's how it works. So, but you're right, the premier, I'm looking back on it in several national championships, track, cross country, you name it, basketball, football, we've had a lot of luck. Well, it takes more than luck. A lot of good coaches have passed through Jayhawk Conference schools, and you got a good bunch of coaches in every sport that you have.
And that's exactly right. And it starts with the presidents and the board of trustees at each one of the individual schools, and the importance that they place on athletics and helping enrollment at the different schools. Athletics gives you a consistency in your enrollment process and your credit hour generation, and it's different from schools to school. When I was at Johnson County, the enrollment is a little bit different than some of the other schools, and athletics didn't really drive the dorms because they didn't have dorms or anything like that. So it's been interesting to see the culture at the different schools. And I was at Highland Community College. I don't want to even tell you when. It was back when, but
when Coach Allen was there.
When Marty was there, I was his offensive coordinator, and Greg Delsai was defense coordinator, and I was baseball coach up there. And it was one of the smaller schools. So I've been at the smallest school in the conference, and then one of the largest enrollment schools in the conference. And I have had respect for all the coaches that we have. We've got a great nucleus of coaches in our conference, and we want to keep that tradition going.
A lot of changes have taken place, not only within our own conference, but on a national level, with last year a new executive director coming in. You brought something to my attention at the football media day, the announcement, and I want to ask you about football in across our conference as well as across the United States. A little concerning with the Arizona teams possibly ending football. at the end of this year, and then also with the interest in California, possibly NJCAA looking into it.
That is, Carlisle Carter is the CEO of the California Community College Athletic Association, and it's been talked about for a long time of trying to get something going between the California and the NJCAA. Chris Parker, our new CEO, who took Marianne Lyke's place, is doing a great job. He's working behind the scenes and with the ESPN and the NFL, and he sees something and he goes and gets it. So hopefully we can move in a direction to keep schools adding the game of football instead of reducing the numbers and the expenses and so forth. So we got to keep it going, especially here in the Midwest. Iowa has dropped some football teams over the years. Illinois has dropped. So we've got to keep the game alive, especially at our level.
We're kind of landlocked here with Oklahoma only having one, and the same way with Iowa really only having 3 now of the Division I caliber. So we're kind of landlocked in that regard. So it's been a good mix with the Iowa teams playing all the Jayhawk Conference teams, I think, anyway.
I do too. I think it brings a level of competition in the Midwest that people enjoy watching the quality of play and the players that we have playing. We've got to keep that continued, and hopefully maybe look at some kind of playoff system or something to help encourage people to get involved in the program.
Regarding California, is there a possibility of one sport possibly being experimented with a little bit and joining the NJCAA to some extent? Or do you know?
I think it would be. I think they would be looking at a complete look at all the schools. We've got 3 2-year programs in the United States. The NWAC, which is the Northwest area of the United States. You got California, and then you have the NJCAA. We have over 500 schools in the NJCAA, and California has about 120. And I think the NWAC is probably around 25 to 30. So if we could incorporate all of them and create a true national championship, and maybe the direction is just a playoff, at the end of the year. It'll be interesting to see what direction Chris goes.
It will change the complexion of some things. There's no doubt about that. But that'll be interesting to see what happens. So you kind of caught me off guard with that at the press conference. By the way, Carp and I turned and looked at each other and kind of, what?
Yeah.
So anyway, of all those of long of tooth like myself for being around the Kansas Jayhawk Conference and NJCAA. So that would make it interesting. So all in all, I think Mr. Parker's done a good job. Of course, he's primarily moved the main office, at least, out to Charlotte as well. So that's happened. And seems to be good things, like you said, working behind the scenes. And my first interaction with him, other than an interview, was at the national tournament last year.
Right.
Seemed to be on top of things, and looking forward to working with him again.
He really gets after it, and Charlotte's a growing community. It is a great place that he's getting involved in. It's right across the street. The national office is right across the street from UNC Charlotte, and he's getting a lot of interns and expanding the office program to service the over 500 2-year schools.
Makes it nice, no doubt about that. You're doing a great job. We've got a great conference to follow. Got a good game going on right now, a 10-point game at 17-7. Hutchinson trailing to Reavers. So thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. We'll catch you in basketball season as well, probably a couple more times.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
That's Carl Heinrich, the executive director, the commissioner of the Jayhawk Conference, and joining us here at halftime. 2-minute timeout. Robin, I'll come back and look at some scores around the area. We'll be back with more right now on VW.
NextTech Wireless Advance Pay gives you great coverage, 4G LTE data, and you'll love the price. Plans start at $25 a month. NextTech Wireless Advance Pay is hassle-free too. No contracts, no credit checks, and you can even bring your own device. Sign up now and get a free month of service when you purchase a new device or receive a free Moto E smartphone with new activation. It's advance pay at Next Tech Wireless, starting at just $25 per month.
Hi, Brian Bobo, General Manager at Midwest Toyota. Well, it's that time of year. That is model year closeout time. And at Midwest Toyota, we have the rebates on select models of $1,500 on new Tacomas, new 4Runners, and Highlanders, with a $3,500 rebate on select Siennas. This is the only time of year that you're going to see these kinds of rebates from Toyota. So hurry out while selection is best. With rebates like this on Toyotas, they won't last long. Come see us today at 1100 East 30th or online at MidwestSuperstore.com.
Needing repairs, parts, belts, or bags for your vacuum? How about free pickup and delivery for any service? Hi, this is Donna Pitzer, the bag lady. I work on all vacuums, including Auric, Kirby, Simplicity, Riccar, Hoover, Kenmore, and all Panasonics. I can get bags and parts for almost any vacuum. Plus, in most cases, I'll save you up to 40% on your bag purchase. Best of all, I deliver at no charge for parts and service of your vacuum. Call me, Donna Pitzer, the bag lady, at 663-4322 or text vacuum cleaners to just text it.
It's football season, when the weather is warm one day and cold the next. Stay ahead of cold and flu season by drinking plenty of liquids, getting enough rest, and keeping your hands sanitized. Come see the friendly folks at Ashcraft Pharmacy, your locally owned Health Mart pharmacy, for over-the-counter medications to help alleviate symptoms. And if you need a prescription, we offer free mail-out, free delivery, or call ahead for our handy curbside service. Go Dragons! From Ashcraft Pharmacy in the Hart Shopping Center, South Hutchinson, and Health Mart, caring for you and about you.
And welcome back to Gowans Stadium. Number 2 Iowa Western, number 11 Hutchinson doing battle here as the sun is trying to come out at Gowans Stadium. We're just about a minute and a half away from a kickoff of the second half. Hutchinson will get the football. Dragons, with just a couple of mental mistakes in that second quarter, actually led 7-0. If you're tuning in for the first time, we're down 17-7, and Ryan Rhodes and crew had a chance to go to the locker room, talk about things. I know one thing, Hutchinson is going to have to open up the passing game because rushing-wise, Hutchinson 23 yards of rushing, it is just not going to happen. This Iowa Western team is not going to let you run the football on them. That's going to mean Mason Shucker is going to have to get some things done. 10 of 18, 2 picks, had a touchdown, threw for 123 yards, Rusty, and they're going to have to get some things clicking in the passing game.
A freak injury to Aaron Collins happened during the pregame warm-ups, I'm told, taking one of the leading rushers in the nation in junior college football out of the Dragon lineup, and boy, did they miss him.
Well, he told me it's been going on for several weeks now that he's had his injury, so it must have aggravated him.
He was in pads, suited out,
sure.
And the next thing you knew, he was leaving on crutches.
Yeah, because I talked to him, and he said it's been he's been fighting it for a few weeks, so hopefully he'll be back.
Flint Sideline Reports brought to you by the great folks at Jackson Meat, some of the best meat products you'll find anywhere.
All right, here we go. Dragons need to play a half a football equivalent to what they did at Independence. Oh, a booming kickoff. There won't be a return here. That one out the back of the end zone.
What I do like, Rusty, is Hutchinson will have the wind at their back when they have the ball in the fourth quarter, but need to find a way to come out here in this third quarter and get some momentum back. I felt like in the second quarter they lost that momentum.
1 yard per carry on the ground in the first half. Yeah. 22 rushes, 23 yards. Simply will not get it done. And Iowa Western, they're not doing anything special. They just aren't making the mistakes, and the Dragons made a couple of them. You could say some of the penalties in the first half were mistakes for Iowa Western, but they were not very costly. 2 running backs back there. Shucker, boom, down he goes. Sacked on the first play of the second half. An inauspicious beginning to the second half for the number 11 ranked Blue Dragons of Hutchinson. A loss of about 9.
And that was just a breakdown. 55, Elijah James, he's a defensive lineman. He just threw the offensive lineman out of the way, and my goodness, just like that, second down and 18 as you come out of the gates here to start the second half.
Dragons have had a lot of these. You just have to get some positive yardage on first down. Now they go back to the run and predictably get gobbled up. A gain of a couple for Jackson. Let's call it a gain of 1. 3rd down and 16.
Well, you mentioned we've averaged 1 yard a carry, and first handoff of the 2nd yard, you get a yard. You're looking at 3rd down 16. Don't want a mistake here, and you're also going to be forced to punt the football into the wind. It's not quite as stiff maybe as it was in the first half, but there is a little bit of breeze.
And Iowa Western has grown greatly in confidence as this game has gone on. They've won a couple of close games, low-scoring games. Time to throw this time, and now running out of time and gobbled up again is Hutchinson quarterback Mason Shucker. And the Dragons go backwards. They had it at the 25, and now they'll punt it from the 14.
Had time initially, couldn't find an open receiver, and then that split second that you wait, protection broke down, and that is not a good start to the second half, but at least you don't make a mistake here. Get the punt off cleanly and see if your defense can bail you out.
Should be outstanding field position for the Reavers. Matt Jones will punt out of the end zone, runs to the side, gets off that kind of sideways kick. It is fielded dangerously at the 45-yard line, but hanging on with a good catch of the punt is Michael Zachary. I say a good job of hanging on because 2 Dragons were down there in a hurry right on top of him. It'll be Reaver football at their own 47.
Yeah, Jagway made a great tackle, number 1 from Decatur, Alabama. Good special team effort. I think if you're Hutchinson, you're thrilled that Iowa Western's going to start the possession here on their side of the field. Ball placed at the 47. Defense has got to dig in here.
About all you could ask out of the punt.
Yep.
Beathard stays at quarterback. He came on late in the first half and probably did a better job than T.J. Starks.
Boy, Jamichael Hill that time. Neal just blew up the ball carrier, number 99. I thought that Iowa Western started to get some things going in the run game. I'm sure that was talked about at halftime.
Clay Beathard is the quarterback. It is a 2nd down and 11. Beathard back to throw. Steps up in the pocket, unloads over the middle, and delivers it low, I believe. Are they going to say he got his hands underneath it?
He did.
Wow, what a catch at the Hutchinson 36.
Receiver kind of shaken up as he made the catch, but Nick Singleton went down, got the ball supposedly off the turf, extending the chains. And, you know, what I've been surprised about, Rusty, is Hutchinson, I don't know that they've got the quarterback.
No, they can't even come close to getting to it. There's a high snap, pulled down, hole up the middle.
And there it is.
And I went for the fake, and Blue Dragons didn't, and they buried the quarterback Beathard with the ball in his possession back at the 41-yard line.
Yeah, that is what we were talking about. Finally, some heat on the quarterback. Keep in mind that, you know, a couple of your pass rushers, Hicks, and then we had that ejection in the first half, so you've lost a couple of your guys. Yep, that get after the quarterback.
So it is 2nd down and 14 at the Hutchinson 36-yard line. Blue Dragons desperate to prevent any additional scoring by nationally number 2 ranked Iowa Western. Beathard back to throw. Throws it over the middle. It is caught for a 1st down inside the 25-yard line. A strike, and I mean a strike, thrown right over the middle to Bennett Spry. And the Reavers are starting to look pretty sharp.
Josh Relaford in coverage, number 5, making the tackle, but it was an easy completion. Quarterback had time again, made a perfect throw. Dragons showing blitz. We'll see if they check out of it or not.
Ball at the Hutchinson 24-yard line.
Can't give up a touchdown here. Would be asking a lot.
Naifith West is the running back. And finally, they're ready with a play clock at 3. Beathard back to throw. Again, has all kinds of time. Pumps, rolls to his right. Flag flies, throws. Had a wide open receiver, and I mean wide open at the 5-yard line. It is an incomplete pass. And a flag dropped in an area that frequently means
it was
holding.
A hold. Glenn Grunwald, that is something the Dragons needed right there.
Yeah, that's a good break right there. It is a hold against number 79 for the offense, so that'll back it off 10. And it does repeat the down, but still moves them back a little bit farther back toward midfield.
2 fresh defensive linemen, a fresh linebacker come in as Hutchinson continues to try to stay fresh defensively. And this is a 1st down now in a long situation.
Well, it should be 1st and 20. That is exactly what it is. By the way, Glenn sideline reports brought to you courtesy of Jackson Meat, one of my favorite places in Hutchinson, and I would suspect one of yours as well.
And a timeout burned early by Iowa Western.
And we'll take the break, too. It'll be of the 30-second variety. We'll be back to see what Iowa Western, leading 17-7, does with a 1st and 20.
Hi, Brian Bobo, General Manager at Midwest Toyota. Well, it's that time of year. That is model year closeout time. And at Midwest Toyota, we have the rebates on select models of $1,500 on new Tacomas, new 4Runners, and Highlanders, with a $3,500 rebate on select Siennas. This is the only time of year that you're going to see these kinds of rebates from Toyota. So hurry out while selection is best. With rebates like this on Toyotas, they won't last long. Come see us today at 1100 East 30th or online at MidwestSuperstore.com.
Well, after the penalty, a 1st and 20 at the Hutchinson 34-yard line. Again, Iowa Western leading 17-7.
233 yards of offense for Iowa Western to 134 for the Dragons. Hutchinson only 11 on the ground, and asking their defense again to bail them out. Trailing by 10, it's a 1st and 20. You want to try to force Iowa Western to give them the ball back to you here.
Clay Beathard is the quarterback. He drops back, tries to set up the screen, and delivers it low and incomplete.
That's because of pressure up the middle by Kamari Gaines. Number 40 was forcing the quarterback back and to throw early.
And that's one of those situations, though, where you want that defense to come up the middle. You're trying to set up a screen pass, but it doesn't work. 2nd down, 20.
Getting more pressure on the quarterback here as of late, and that's big. It's been missing.
Ready to go. Clay Beathard all by himself. Passing play. Drops back, has time, quickly over the middle, caught. Short of the 1st down, well short of the 1st down. It'll be a pickup of 9 down to the 26-yard line. Another catch by Michael Zachary.
Zachary kind of fumbled a little bit as he caught the ball. If a hit would have been there, I think it would have jarred it loose, but it was good for the catch. Gain of 8, 3rd down and about 12.
And Thomas, number 24, making a good open field tackle on the receiver. You want to force Iowa Western into making a decision if you can hold them here on 4th down.
Beathard, all by himself, sends his running back out to the right as a wide receiver. He's got 3 to the right, 2 to the left. He has time to throw. He throws, and it is caught. A spectacular grab in the end zone for Iowa Western. Wonderful catch by Marcel Barbee. Barbee ended the first half for Iowa Western with a catch and run for a touchdown. That one, he went up high. They flooded the right-hand side of the end zone with receivers and come away with a touchdown that all of a sudden has the Reavers pretty confident at 23-7.
3 receivers split to the right side. Single coverage by the Dragons on all 3 receivers, and that time the receiver went up, climbed the ladder, caught the ball. Perfect throw, good catch, and the extra point is up. And it is good.
And it is this simple. Hutchinson's chances of getting back in this game against the Reavers may well depend on an ability to move the football starting right now. We're back in 30 seconds.
For over 15 years, Erickson Custom Building has designed, built, and remodeled homes and commercial projects in central Kansas. Whether you're looking to replace a deck, wanting to build an addition, or remodel your kitchen, our customers receive individualized attention, quality craftsmanship, and exceptional customer service from start to finish. Erickson Custom Building offers new construction and remodeling services in addition to commercial and insurance projects. Visit our website today at ericksoncustombldg.com.
24 straight unanswered points for Iowa Western, and an afternoon that started so promisingly for the Blue Dragons now leaves Hutchinson with a huge hill to climb and just 25 minutes in which to get it done.
Yeah, Clay Beathard, 8 out of 10, 138 yards and those 2 touchdowns. My goodness, that throw was really special, and the catch maybe even better, but the Dragons were nowhere to be found in coverage on that last play.
Kickoff might be returnable. Yeah, you can try to bring it out of the end zone. Pretty good return, but not out to the 25-yard line. Whitmore got only to the 19, So the decision to run it out of the end zone cost the Dragons 6 yards.
Kalen Jennings, number 30, making a fabulous special team tackle there on the kickoff units. And Dragon offense backed up, going against the wind, and right now there's no confidence in this Dragon offense.
Whitmire trying to make a big play, trying to make something happen for the Blue Dragons, not able to get the job done. And now let's see, can Hutchinson finally move it? They went backwards on their first possession of the third quarter, lost 11 yards. And they fake the reverse and instead go straight ahead. And there just isn't any yards to be gained on the ground against the Reavers. Couple, maybe 3 on the running play.
Well, Hutchinson had 11 yards rushing prior to that play. Let's call it 14 yards rushing. And I mean, it is absolutely just impossible to run against this defense.
Well, obviously Hutchinson's chances in the running game really hurt by the injury to Aaron Collins, who was terrific in the Dragons' first couple of games. Now the ball thrown out in the flat, and the Dragons with a little bit of success. Catch made and taken upfield short of the first down.
Not by much.
Third down and 1 or 2. Another good job by Jalik Jagway. They're going to give him a first down.
They're going to give him the first down. Yep.
Well, that's a good job of kind of, running down the sideline and keeping your feet in bounds.
Both teams have had success doing that. Not so much over the middle. Now the ball thrown left. Jagway with the catch at the 30, at the 35, and out close to the 38-yard line. And that's where they'll spot it. Nice gain on first down. Pickup of 8.
That was number 6, Khalil McLean, making a good block. That play does not work if the initial guy out there doesn't make contact and get a good block. Credit McLean that time.
Nice to see the Blue Dragons picking up yardage on first down. It gives you so many more things that you can do.
I think it's imperative here to go down and get score of any kind.
I would agree. Ball thrown a little bit high, although Jalik Jagway had both hands on it. Probably could have caught it. He was trying to figure out what am I going to do with it, and didn't pull it in. That leaves Hutchinson with a 3rd and 2.
Got to find a way to get the first down here, and I don't know if you can do it running it.
I would question it. Dragons will try to throw for it, and the ball is bounced to the intended receiver. That was simply just not a good throw at all.
Perry and Winfrey, number 97, he has just dominated the line of scrimmage, and he made the quarterback throw the ball early. He couldn't step into the throw for that out route. You have to be able to step into it to get it there and make it accurate. And you can credit the D-line again, winning the battle up front.
Peyton Bowens was the intended receiver, but the ball bounced about 3 or 4 steps in front of him.
And you have really seen the momentum of this football game change as a booming punt.
And it is fielded sure-handed at the 30-yard line by Iowa Western. And now the Reavers with a 17-point lead in this game, 8.5 to play in the third quarter. I don't think they're ready to go conservative yet, but it won't be too long.
Well, Glenn Grunwald, not quite the start you wanted here in the second half.
No, and it goes back to the end of the first half when the Dragons were intercepted and allowed Iowa Western to get on down, have a big drive and score right before halftime. It kind of goes back to that, and they got to step it up right now. And you're right, the Reavers can kind of have some options right now, leading 24-7 or 8:31 to go in the third.
Beathard has been the better of the 2 quarterbacks. He goes with the running game, and it'll be a short gain for Greg Bowles. Maybe the Dragons did finally get a takeaway. Let's see if it stands.
And I think they have, and there is your first big play of the football game. Yep. Hutchinson comes up with a turnover.
Just ripped away right when they had him stood up, and that's why you kind of try to gang tackle so you can get a guy up and somebody else can come in there and maybe rip that ball loose.
And 89, Jaden Cunningham is the guy that was there initially. I don't know if he got the strip, but he's the guy that caused the initial contact of what would have been a great play.
First turnover of the game on Iowa Western. Blue Dragons have had a couple of costly mistakes.
Yeah.
That's the first for Iowa Western. But it does set Hutchinson up at the 35-yard line, and a score A drive into the end zone from here could make things a lot more entertaining.
And this is where you got to give Mason Shucker time, and he's got to do his part as well.
Throws it out in the left flat, and the catch will go for negative yardage. Threw it to Khalil McLean, but didn't have any blockers in front of him, and he is dumped for a -2.
They're just sound. I mean, you just have to earn every single yard that you get.
The old bubble screen didn't work.
Did not. So that'll force a 2nd down, 12 situation. I mean, at least come away with a field goal here. But if you're Hutchinson, you just got to find a way here to muster something.
And they give it to Jackson. Jackson trying to get to the edge, and he will get back to the original line of scrimmage. Gain 2, that's all. And it's 3rd down, and the Dragons, after causing a takeaway, are in danger of not doing anything with it as they look at 10 yards needed to move the chains on 3rd down.
They do not misread their keys. Misdirection, and Hutchinson thinks maybe they can fool them, and everyone is disciplined, stays home, does their job, and Hutch on that play gets 2 yards.
Dragons need desperately a big play. And the ball lobbed out in the left flat. That was again pressure, and Hutchinson quarterback Mason Shucker just kind of threw it toward the sideline. That had a wish and a prayer on it and very little chance of success, and it's incomplete.
They're going to punt the ball, and this isn't a quarterback. The guys up front eventually have to have some pride and give their quarterback a time to throw. And he no more than got back there to throw an out route and had to throw it early because there was pressure in his face. The offensive line has not had a good game in this one here today.
So the Dragons do nothing with the turnover. The punt, pretty effective, taken at the 9 or 10 yard line by Daniel Isom, no return.
Super punt.
The Reavers start there. And Hutchinson does not capitalize on the first Iowa Western offensive error of the game.
And, you know, it looks so much like at times last year, guys, where the offense gets turnover or has some situations and just can't do anything with it. And you thought after watching the first half against Independence last week that maybe those days were over, but it has not been a very good showing by the Hutchinson offense in this one, and I don't think anyone would disagree with that.
Beathard loads it up, throws it left, catch made, nice move in the middle of the field, spin move, and from the 10 out to the 15-yard line. Pretty good job of running with the football after making the catch by Nick Singleton. That's got to be about 6 catches in the game for Singleton.
Kamari Gaines with the tackle on that play, and Singleton has 6 catches. Very good, Rusty.
2nd down, 5. Beathard wants to throw, steps up, throws in the middle of the field, and they're having no trouble getting receivers open in the middle of the field. Completion out to the 27-yard line, and Michael Zachary has multiple grabs, and they're going to say he dropped it right after the contact.
Latavian Beaton put a heck of a hit on, but Glenn, here's the difference. Their quarterback is dropping back and is clean and has time. Our quarterback has no time in the world.
Yeah, you only need a couple seconds back there, and you think, hey, you could hope for a couple seconds. Dragons aren't, Reavers are.
He just has been clean in the pocket, and I know that surprises me with the depth that Hutchinson has on this defensive line.
Passing formation, Beathard back, throws it out left, catch made, and a 1st down.
And a fumble.
Ball popped loose.
Unbelievably enough, there's another receiver in the area. How lucky sometimes can an opponent get? Ball is fumbled. There's another Iowa Western player there, picks it up, falls down, and it's enough for the 1st down.
At the 20-yard line. Reavers chewing up time here in the 3rd quarter, which has just 6 minutes to go. Iowa Western a nice lead, 27-7. Play action pass, and then the ball thrown behind the intended receiver, Nick Singleton. That time Beathard was flushed out, running to his right, awkward throw, and he didn't come very close.
Yeah, receiver wasn't even turning for the ball yet. That's because he had to throw the ball early. Looked like the Hutchinson quarterback who's had to throw the ball way earlier in this game than he's wanted most plays. That time the defense doing its job.
Trips to the right for Beathard on this 2nd down 10. Iowa Western is not playing it conservatively at all.
They sure aren't.
Dragons need an interception. Beathard's going to put it up. Throws it long. Got a receiver behind everybody, but fortunately for Hutchinson, overthrew coverage by Latavian Beaton, who has been beaten badly on about half a dozen occasions in this game in terms of coverage.
Made the wrong read that time. He is extremely lucky. Remember, the wind is at the back of Iowa Western. It's pushing the football, and that time it helped the Dragons secondary because that's a touchdown if the ball is not overthrown.
It is 3rd down and still 10. Dragons have to get a stop here. Trips right. Twins to the left. Beathard with time. Unloads over the middle. Catch made. And it is a 1st down. They are having no trouble finding receivers wide open over the middle. That grab again by Singleton. His 7th catch of the game. And it's a 1st down.
Quarterback again, set back there. He had all the time in the world to survey the field, step into the throw, and make an accurate one.
Beathard came on in relief of starting quarterback T.J. Starks, and he has definitely been the better of the pair.
Yeah, 11 of 16, 2 touchdowns, 151 yards passing.
Takes a high snap, hands off, and the Dragons will not give up any significant yardage on the running play.
Jalen Pat, 34 first there, and they swallow up the ball carrier.
I got to say this kid's name. Running back was Gayflor Fomo.
Say that 3 times quick as there's a Dragon on the turf, shaken up a little bit.
And while they tend to the injured Blue Dragon, let's work in this timeout for our sponsors. We're back in 1 minute.
HCC Sports is brought to you by the Sportscaster Club members, Portfolio Recovery Associates, Dr. Robert Epp of the Hutchinson Clinic, Barkley Plumbing, Vernon Chiropractic Center, Tim and Gina Ritter, along with Brian Strange of the Green Vision Group, Sutton Kaufman Transmission Service, Wade Patton Insurance, A&A Builders, Bold Office Shares, Mega Manufacturing, MAYB, Mid-America Youth Basketball, Lowen Corporation, and by Mann, Wyatt and Rice, LLC. These Sportscaster Club members help provide funds for HCC scholarships.
The Hutch Medicine Shop and the Hutch Blue Dragons have a lot in common. In addition to our logos both being blue, all 3 pharmacists at the Medicine Shop graduated from HCC. Rick Stone in 1984, Brent Bellman in 2001, and Lacey Stone in 2007. In fact, the Medicine Shop has employed over a dozen HCC students over the past 15 years who are now Kansas pharmacists. The Medicine Shop and the Blue Dragons working together as one team.
Beathard throws it upfield again, finds a wide open receiver who hauls it in at the 45-yard line, though with a knee on the ground. And this Iowa Western team has found something against the Dragon secondary. They are throwing the ball almost at will. 1st down at the Hutchinson 45, high snap, fouls up the handoff, and not much ground for Gayflor Fomo to pick up. He'll get 2.
And that is 42, Justin Harris, backup lineman, getting some playing time, looking good. Good pursuit from the backside, and gain of, as you said, a couple.
At the Hutchinson 43-yard line, Beathard with Fomo back there in the backfield. Now turns around to look at the sideline. You would think at one of these points they're going to go conservative with a 3-score lead. It won't be here. Ball loaded up, tossed left.
Oh, almost picked off, Rusty.
And incomplete.
That time it could have been picked up by Art Green. The ball actually hit him in the numbers, and he'll probably be upset that he didn't have a kind of a possession-changing turnover and interception there.
3rd down, still 8 yards to go at the 43 of Hutchinson. 24-7. It is Iowa Western, number 2 in the country, over the would-be ladder climbers, Hutchinson. Blue Dragons coming in with momentum after last week, haven't been able to move the ball. There's a throw over the middle, again caught, and another 1st down at the 30-yard line. They are just picking apart the Hutchinson secondary, all over the middle. It was Javonte Richardson pulling that one in. And Iowa Western, boy, all of a sudden they have just developed a passing attack that is unstoppable. Quick out to the left side, caught, and a missed tackle, another missed tackle, and still on his feet and all the way down to the 11-yard line with the catch, Javonte Richardson.
Yeah, right now they're just punching Hutchinson in the mouth and saying, we're going to get to the line of scrimmage, we're going to snap it as quickly as we can, we're going to keep throwing it because you can't stop it. And right now it's been a lethal dose.
Yeah, it really is, and it has chewed up most of the third quarter. Hutchinson needed to come out and make something happen. They trailed 17-7 starting the half. They have done nothing in the third quarter other than create a turnover, which they couldn't capitalize on. There's a throw out, catch right in front of a defender, and another Hutchinson mistake leads to a touchdown, and then a penalty after the catch. The catch will stand. It'll be a score for Iowa Western. It was Marcel Barbee, his third touchdown catch of the game for the Reavers, who have put this game out of reach at 30-7.
Well, Glenn, this is going to be an unsportsmanlike conduct call against one or the other.
Frustration starting to set in. That was a beautiful flow. I had a good angle on it, and he just flung it out there before he was even where he was going to be at. Good timing pattern, and caught it, and the frustration by Clemens, very upset. And
15 yards, and that's going to cost on the kickoff. You already have the win at your back.
Yeah, they're going to kick it out of the end zone anyhow. But 30-7, and the Blue Dragons secondary that was expected to be pretty doggone good has been shredded by the passing of these two quarterbacks from Iowa Western. The extra point is up, and it is 31-7. And a Reaver football team that struggled in their first two wins, winning over Coffeyville by 13 and over Iowa Central by 6, has gone on the road to Hutchinson and through most of three quarters has really impressed. 31-7, more football in half a minute.
Just when you thought you were done with taxes, you got a letter from the IRS. Maybe you're being audited, or maybe you filed for an extension and still need some tax help. We at H&R Block are there for you. We don't stop working on April 15th. Our tax professionals are here to help you year-round. So if you have tax issues you need a hand with, even if H&R Block didn't do your taxes the first time around, visit our offices in Hutchinson, Lyons, or Ellsworth and let our experienced tax professionals help get you every dollar you deserve.
And welcome back to Gowans Stadium, where the Blue Dragons all of a sudden have found themselves on their heels because of the personal foul. It will be Iowa Western kicking off from the 50. They lead 31-7, 3:23 to go here in the third quarter. Rusty, it's been domination in this quarter.
Now, you might onside kick it. I don't think they will. They don't. And this one, well out the back of the end zone.
They kicked that one to 4th Street.
Yep.
Holy cow.
So Hutchinson will begin at the 25-yard line. In effect, they were probably going to kick it into the end zone anyhow, so the penalty really didn't hurt Hutchinson. But the touchdown passes, and there have been a bundle of them, will make the Blue Dragons, they'll have to go back, rethink things, try to figure out what to get done offensively. They have 18 minutes to play with in this football game, but right now they need to start building something to get ready for the Fort Scott Greyhounds, who will be in here next Saturday.
Well, coaches grade every play from every position, and just from my vantage point of looking, I don't think the coaches are going to be too happy with the performance of Hutchinson's offensive line in this game. They have just been dominated.
Yeah, there is a toss out in the left flat that is complete for the Blue Dragons, but a very, very, very short gain on the play. Thrown out to Dalrone Donaldson. And got, I'll give him credit, got a little bit more than I thought. They give him 4 yards out to the 29.
Blue Dragon football on KHUT Hutchinson, Country 102.9, as well as KWBW Hutchinson, 1450 AM and 98.5 FM.
Shucker has gone the distance at quarterback. Fakes, hands off. Dragons crash straight ahead. Ball carrier was Jonathan White, and he gets a couple more.
That is White's 5th carry. He has -3 yards rushing in the game. I mean, it's been that kind of day from a rushing standpoint.
Third down, let's call it 5 yards to go. Blue Dragons have done absolutely nothing offensively in the second half. And meanwhile, Iowa Western, well, they've had a productive quarter. They scored 14.
I mean, it's tough to get first downs in this game. Need one here.
They'll try to do it on the ground, and they won't get the job done.
That
White got about 3.
Yeah, probably K-State fans relating to the Dragon fans a little bit. 31-10 in the fourth quarter. Mississippi State on top of K-State.
Found that call right there a little curious. On a third down and long, you hand off to your running back where you come in with 17 yards of rushing for the entire game, and that's pretty tough. Hutchinson will punt the football again, and they're already down 31-7. It's been a clinic here in the third quarter by Iowa Western.
And there's the punt. It is low. It is spinning, and it will not. And it is at the last minute fielded. Dangerous grab for Iowa Western by Daniel Isom. Might have saved him about 5 yards.
Probably
he
did.
Fielded in traffic.
Nick Shelton, number 81, good heads-up tackle. Freshman from Illinois, making a nice stop.
In the junior college game, the two teams that play for the national championship are to a great extent determined by the rankings at the end of the year. This Iowa Western performance on the road against a good football team from Hutchinson will enhance their standing. Certainly ought to secure their number 2 spot and maybe start attracting more votes for number 1.
That's a lot what Carl and I talked about at halftime, Rusty, is the possibility of having a playoff with the California system for a pure national champion.
Beathard gets away from a couple of Dragon defenders, has to run with it, and is dropped for 3 yards. That would be quite a switch to get the California junior colleges involved. They have a great program out there, and have always argued that their talent is probably greater than that of other parts of the country.
And the interest is coming from them.
Yep. And that's change, and that's a good change. Monty Montgomery, number 10, on that last tackle for Hutchinson. 2nd down, 7.
Beathard back to throw. He's thrown on almost every down, throws it upfield. Had a receiver with a step or so on his defender, but throws the ball out of bounds. It'll be 3rd down.
Receiver was out of bounds. The official threw his hat down because you can't go out of bounds, come back in, and make the catch. So had he even caught it, it wouldn't have mattered anyway.
45 ticks to go in the third quarter, and the only thing giving Hutchinson a chance in this game is the fact they keep throwing it there, not consuming a lot of time. But Hutchinson hasn't been able to get anything going offensively. Reavers throw long, and the ball is overthrown. Pretty good coverage that time for the Blue Dragons. Defending for the Blue Dragons was Josh Relaford. The intended receiver for Iowa Western was Jason Harrison. It's a long incomplete pass, and 4th down. And finally, the Reavers will have to punt.
Yeah, Beathard from the quarterback position has been so good. He is 15 out of 23 now for 214 yards and 3 touchdowns, and he has not thrown a lot of incompletions. Good coverage by Relaford. Good job by the defense. How about a punt return here that goes for something?
Flag on the punt. Pretty punt. High. Irwin says he wants a fair catch, gets out of the way, and that'll cost the Dragons a batch of yards. It's going to go rolling down to the 8, maybe the 7-yard line. We'll check the flag, but the punt of it stands about as effective as it could possibly be. A Hutchinson team struggling for yards.
This will be
a
hold.
Get the ball with 92 yards to go.
Yeah, this is going to be beneficial for Hutchinson because it was a hold against Iowa Western, or a false start.
Easy choice, make them punt it again.
Yeah, because
too many. 5 men in the backfield.
First of all, you want to catch that punt because the punt returner let it bounce, and then it rolled another 10, 15 yards, and now they'll have to do it again. But Hutchinson will have the wind at their back in the fourth quarter. Will it matter?
How about an all-out effort to block a punt? We haven't seen that yet this year. An all-out try?
You know, they put that wall now in front of the punter where you have the 3 guys, you notice.
Makes it hard.
They put guys that weigh 350 pounds.
There's a lot of beef.
It's hard to get around that.
You couldn't find any more beef than that at Jackson Meat, Glenn. Punts off. It's, again, effective, but this time returnable. Taken at the 26-yard line, and room to run out to the 30, to the 40, to the 45, to the 50, to the 45, cutting to the middle of the field. This is Irwin to the 30, to the 25, to the 20, to the 10, to the 5, and there's a punt return touchdown for the Blue Dragons. Nice job by Blue Dragon Jalen Irwin.
Wow! Rusty, you've been waiting for something to happen, and Glenn, you finally get it with special teams.
Yeah, you do, and you got a heck of a block by Kelvin Clemens way back 30 to spring him. And we just had one man to beat at about the 30 and was able to take it to the house.
You talk about a costly penalty.
Yep.
5-yard penalty made him kick it over. Hutchinson, instead of having it at their own 8-yard line, they have it in the end zone, lining up an extra point to try to make it 31-14. And the extra point try is up, and the extra point try is good. So the Dragons, with a little bit of a spurt, thanks to the run back by Jalen Irwin, now down 17, 31-14. 6 seconds left, third quarter. More football from Gowans Stadium in exactly 30 seconds.
The Rothy family name has always been connected to serving the Hutchinson community, and you can expect the same kind of high-quality service when you visit Rothy Family Flooring. They believe you deserve to be treated like family, so they've invested in their own talented and trustworthy installers to lay your floors. No outside contractors will ever knock on your door if Rothy works for you. Let them show you their expansive selection of name brand flooring and trust your home to the best. Rothy Family Flooring, 325 North Main, Hutchinson.
Jalen Irwin giving the crowd a little something to cheer for. That was about an 80-yard punt return.
It was special, and it's this simple, guys. You got 6 seconds left here where Hutchinson is going to have to go against the wind. So they'll have the entire fourth quarter with the wind at their back. Offense is going to have to produce. Defense is going to have to force another turnover, and those are a couple of things that will have to happen if Hutch is going to get back in this down 2 touchdowns and a field goal.
Kickoff as a floater, taken at the 14-yard line. Out quickly to the 20, bouncing off a tackle, and then gang tackled right at the 25-yard line. It was Michael Zachary on the bring back for Iowa Western, and now flags fly.
Yep,
yeah, got some grabbing going on.
This is going to cost Iowa Western. I'm going to tell you, if I'm the head coach of Iowa Western, I'm going to absolutely go off on somebody and he's out on the field. You have a 31-14 lead. You get a decent return, and you have a guy lose his head and go attack a Blue Dragon. I think this is a 15-yard penalty.
Yeah, I saw a grab of the face mask by an Iowa Western player on a Blue Dragon. Blue Dragon put his hand straight up, so saying, hey, it wasn't on me, and that's when the flag
It's going to be the last play of the third quarter, guys. We'll take a 1-minute break between quarters, sort it out when we return in 60 seconds.
Prairie Star Health Center has become a proven resource for workplace medical needs. From pre-employment and DOT physicals to treatment for injuries, drug and alcohol testing to wellness programs tailored to your needs, you'll find Prairie Star's professional, certified staff highly capable and efficient. And I think you'll be very pleased with how cost-effective we are. Prairie Star Health Center, 30th and K61 in Hutchinson.
When you're looking for jewelry that's one of a kind, remember Amelia Bedelias, filled with thousands of beads and stones. And with my passion for design, I can create something that's perfect for you. Amelia Bedelias, 115 and a half South Main Street in downtown Hutchinson. Go Blue Dragons!
This is Kelly, owner of Brick House Boutique. Don't pack away your summer pieces just yet. It may still be warm, yet summer to fall fashions are here at Brick House Boutique. Comfortable and affordable casual clothes at 117 South Main in Hutchinson. Big city chic in a downtown boutique.
Well, 3 quarters in the books at Gowans Stadium, and the Blue Dragons, who seem to be dead in the water, enervated by that nice punt return by Jalen Irwin. Now something to play for, 31-14, still a monstrous hill to climb in the fourth quarter, but an opportunity as the quarter starts with the ball at the 16-yard line of Iowa Western, and I continue to be amazed that they keep throwing it.
Well, let's go back also and say there were offsetting penalties. There was a personal foul on Iowa Western, but Hutchinson had a guy across the line of scrimmage on the kickoff, so that negated the penalty.
And they do go to a running play to open the fourth quarter. Ball carrier Gayflor Fomo got about a yard.
Latavian Beaton with the tackle, Glenn.
Yeah, they tacked the 5-yard on, but then there was a 15-yard, so the difference between the two took it back to the 16 because he was all the way out to the 30.
Yeah.
So. That punt return for the score. Rusty, was that the first punt return this year, first score?
That I can remember. There's the throw over the middle, a catch made, and wide open all the way out to the 38-yard line. Again over the middle. Nobody can contain Michael Zachary and Nick Singleton. Those two have just chewed up the Hutchinson secondary.
You're seeing a quarterback take over a game because right now Beathard, everything that he throws is on the money. I mean, this guy has been unbelievable, and he's had time to throw it. He's been accurate. He's shown great poise, and right now Hutchinson has no answer for number 14, Clay Beathard. He's the difference in this football game right now.
Yeah, he came in late in the first half, engineered a quick scoring drive at the end of the half, and has been terrific here in the second half. And now the game plan, I think, will get a little bit more conservative. Instead of throwing on every down, they're probably going to run it as much as they can and still manage to move the chains. 4 for FOMO on a first down carry.
Quick snap. And blown up in the backfield. That's back-to-back tackles by Kamari Gaines as there was a late flag deep in the secondary, and I have no idea what this is.
Yeah, the officials will tell us soon enough.
I mean, look where the flag is thrown. That was not even anywhere close to. It was a running play.
Yeah, that's closer to me than it is to anything that happened.
Was it the fact that maybe well, I don't know, because they got up and snapped the ball quick, so it couldn't have been a delay of game unless there was a substitution penalty.
That could have possibly been.
It's just bizarre to see the flag come from way back there on a running play at the line of scrimmage.
Well, the officials conferring. They'll tell us soon enough.
I've seen enough penalties in this game. 11 for Iowa Western, 9 for Hutchinson. That is too many. There's your illegal substitution. My goodness, that is a costly penalty for Hutchinson, and that is penalty number 10 for the Dragons.
That was a big one.
And that is 90 yards of penalties against this Hutchinson football team. I knew it had to be that penalty when it was called at that spot in the field.
Second down and 1. Ball now out at the 47-yard line. Blue Dragons desperately need to force some sort of a turnover. I think Iowa Western will go back to the ground, and they do FOMO straight ahead. Enough for the first down. That'll move the chains and will enable Iowa Western to start chewing a little bit more on that clock, which reads 13:24 to play.
Jeremiah Fordham. And can you tell me why you're leading 34-14 and you're like in a hurry to snap the ball? I mean, to me, it doesn't make sense.
Because it's working.
It is working, but eventually you have the lead, and then you want to start chewing some of the clock before you make a mistake, is my point.
I agree. That's why they want to run it. But this will be another throw by Beathard. Again over the middle, and this one picked up in the air and intercepted by the Blue Dragon. Taken at the 40-yard line, trying to find a way to return it upfield and taking it out to the 47 with an accompanying flag. The interception for the Blue Dragons by Latavian Beaton, who needed to have something good happen. He got it on the deflection, and the Blue Dragons will have the football. The flag will tell us where.
The third interception of the year, Glenn Grunwald, by Beaton. It was tipped. I have no idea who tipped it. That's why he got the
tip.
I
didn't see the tip, but he was there to get it, and again, it just was another completion, so good thing it went in and out of the hands to see where the flag result would be.
Well, we needed a turnover. After the play, there was a personal foul face mask against Iowa Western. Wow! Now that is a huge penalty after the turnover, so you turn it over, and then you get a 15-yard penalty tacked on. Hutchinson has got to take advantage of this.
The crowd is starting to get back in this game, sensing maybe an opportunity. Hutch still down 3 scores.
You have to make them pay here and then start putting some pressure on Iowa Western, and a score here would do just that.
Mason Shucker takes the snap. Hands off. They're going to throw. They got a wide open receiver, and it's going to be caught for a touchdown. Beautifully done. Khalil McClain firing it upfield to Marquise Whitmire, and Whitmire wide open, and the Blue Dragons on the trick play make it turn into a touchdown. Beautiful call.
I don't know how he knew, but Kareem Brown was on the sideline saying, "This is the one." And he called that from the sideline, and that's exactly what happened. A throw from McClain to to the catch
Well,
win there.
Merry Christmas, everyone, in September. That was beautiful.
The extra point is up and good, and all of a sudden we have the makings of a football game. 31-21, still 12:42 to go. We said the Dragons had to get some takeaways, and they just came up with a big one. More football, just 30 ticks away.
HCC Sports is brought to you by the Sportscaster Club members, Portfolio Recovery Associates, Dr. Robert Epp of the Hutchinson Clinic, Barkley Plumbing, Burning Chiropractic Center, Tim and Gina Ritter, along with Brian Strange of the Green Vision Group, Sutton Kaufman Transmission Service, Wade Patton Insurance, A&A Builders, Bold Office Shares, Mega Manufacturing, MAYB, Mid-America Youth Basketball, Lowen Corporation, and by Mann, Wyatt & Rice, LLC. These Sportscaster Club members help provide funds for HCC scholarships.
Well, the Blue Dragons dead in the water about 5 minutes ago. Get a big punt return for a touchdown by Jalen Irwin. I get a takeaway by Latavian Beaton and a flea flicker, I guess we would call it, to Marquise Whitmire, and all of a sudden it's 31-21.
And the wind at your back. Get this kickoff deep and see if your defense can take care of business. That is an outstanding kickoff, young man. Beautiful.
Out of the backside of the end zone. So the Reavers will have it at the 25-yard line. Now all of a sudden the play call not quite so obvious. I mean, I still think you want to use up time. You've got a 2-score advantage. But you also need to pick up some first downs, and they have had not a whole lot of success running the football.
That was Beathard's first mistake, as I mentioned. Guy has 3 touchdowns, thrown for 235 yards, 16 out of 25 completion ratio. But the ball was tipped on the last possession. Hutchinson got the turnover and made him pay.
Yeah, I have a hard time saying it was a mistake, but it wasn't in and out of the hands of the receiver's hands. But you're right, Rob. It'll go down as that.
Right.
First interception thrown by Beathard. He gives on the running play. Now, huge hole. 30, 35, 40. 44-yard line.
There's a hold.
A big hole up the left side for Gayflor Fomo.
Is there a flag down?
Yeah, there's a hold.
There it is, back at the 31.
I wondered how. I mean, Hutchinson had not given up a hunk of yardage like that in the running game all day. And another costly penalty, guys. That is the 13th penalty for 133 yards against Iowa.
But we rarely talk about officiating in a football game, not nearly as often in a positive manner as we should. But these officials have done a very good job of calling the things that needed to be called.
I'm telling you, Don Henley would be proud of this game because we've seen a lot of dirty laundry. That is the 22nd penalty of the game.
And it becomes a first down and 13. Beathard. He's back to throw. Now flush. Chase. Wow! Dumped at the 19.
Biggest play of the game, Rusty, for the defense, besides the interception. Finally getting some heat on the quarterback, and that's Latrell Bankston.
Loss back to the 19. Makes it second down and 6.
Momentum really has a way of shifting in football, doesn't it?
It's a long ways to go. Almost 12 minutes.
Ton of time.
Beathard back, time, throws it upfield, knocked loose, and then caught and taken down the sideline. The Dragons make a play, but what a terrific job. Marcel Barbie has been a thorn in the side of the Blue Dragons. He was covered as well as he could. Ball knocked away, popped up in the air. Defensive back fell down. He pulls it in. He has been the receiver of the game, and all of a sudden, Iowa Western at the Hutchinson 43-yard line.
Wow, Art Green did everything there but knock it down.
Beathard throws it out left. Catch made. Short gain of about 3, maybe 4 yards. Another catch for Nick Singleton. He has 8 catches now on the afternoon.
Yeah, Singleton, he's been really special. 80-plus yards of receiving. Zachary Michael with 80 yards receiving as well. The receiving core for Iowa Western is, let's just say, pretty good.
Yeah, I think this is a really good football team. Beathard wants to throw again, has all kinds of time. Now starts to run out of the pocket. Flag drop, throws downfield, incomplete, pretty well covered by the Dragons. probably a hold on Iowa Western.
And I'm going to tell you, Monty Montgomery, number 10, has the crowd buzzing because he flattened the quarterback. That is the biggest hit I have seen of the year.
It was a big one.
And this, Monty thinks maybe there's a penalty on him.
Well, yeah.
But it's not.
It's not. It came way before that.
Yeah, it's a hold and another costly penalty. That's going to back him up 10 yards. And Hutchinson is living right. This crowd getting into the game.
Yep, it is. 10 minutes, 53 seconds to go. Big penalty, costly, wiping out a very positive play and leaving a 2nd down and 17 for the Reavers with the football right at midfield. 31-21, Iowa Western leading Hutchinson's Blue Dragons. Beathard, he's just throwing on every down. No reason to think he'll do anything but load it up here, and he will. Drops back, has time, floats it upfield, and this one's out of the reach of everybody. Closest to it, a Blue Dragon defender. He didn't really have much of a chance at it, but maybe a little bit of an opportunity for Latavian Beaton, but just good coverage. 3rd down and a bunch.
Thomas doing a good job, freshman from Alabama, the corner one-on-one on an island, and he was step for step with the receiver. I tell you, Beathard, every time he lets it go, it's got a chance, though. He has been in a zone. This is a huge 3rd down coming up. Crowd here needs to make some noise. Even the Blue Dragon defense putting their hands in the air saying, come on, help us out.
Beathard back to throw. Has all kinds of time. Throws it way upfield. Nobody there. It's a long incomplete pass. And the thing that makes you think that maybe the Blue Dragons have a chance in this football game is that Iowa Western can't run with any effect.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
They're having Glenn to throw on almost every down.
They are. We have a Blue Dragon down. Fun to hear the Blue Dragon pep band when the penalty went against the Reavers. They do like the golf carts or the dump trucks that you hear, the backup noise, the beep, beep, beep.
Right.
They're in unison, beep, beep, beep. Kind of fun to be down here with the crowd.
We've got a cramp with the Dragon player, and Rusty, we'll keep it here. I want to make this point. Really, this game has switched in the first half on special teams and the second half on special teams. First half, Hutchinson, for whatever reason, we don't know, had to have their kicker go out to try to punt a ball. Perfect snap. He muffed it, and instead of kicking into the wind, they gave up field position and possession of the ball to Iowa Western. They go down and score a touchdown, and that really shifted things. Here in the second half, there was a penalty that gave Hutchinson another chance for a punt return, of which the Dragons take 70 yards to the house score, and special teams on both sides have really changed momentum.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. Both sides.
All right, Iowa Western to punt on 4th and a bunch. Ball at midfield. There's a punt. It is a pretty punt. It is taken at the 11 by Irwin. Irwin trying to get outside, can't. He's grabbed, horse-collared inside the 10. It'll be minus yardage on the return this time for Irwin. Dragons have the ball back. They have a chance. They trail by 10, 31-21. Long ways to go, but still a lot of time, 10.5.
Well, a lot of work to do. Ball inside the 10 at the 8. But Hutchinson right now with some confidence, feeling good about themselves, and that's important when it comes to football.
And if we're going to be realistic, we have to say it isn't because of the Hutchinson offense.
No.
But that offense right now, given new life, maybe they can find a spark. Maybe they can make a big play. Got to turn field position around here. Dragons will throw inside the 10, and boy, it was almost a pick six. Threw it right at a defensive back, and unable to pull it in was Chester Graves. He would have had a walk into the end zone.
I'm telling you, it's a good thing he's a defensive end and not a secondary guy, because it hit him in the hands, and that would have been the easiest touchdown that young man's probably ever seen.
So it is a 2nd down and 10. Ball situated at the Hutchinson 8. Dragons down 31-21. 10:28 to play in the contest. There's the toss out in the flat. Dragons trying to make a play on the sideline, and they'll get about half of the yards they needed. Not any more than that.
But it makes it a 3rd down and manageable situation. 3rd and 4 as an offense. You love that. I mean, 3rd and 4 is fine.
I think that was Jalik Jagway that caught the ball on the sideline.
He made a couple of guys miss and got some extra yards. Can you get a first down here, boy, it would be huge to keep the ball in your possession.
3rd down 4. Pass play. Delivered on target. First down, Dragons at the 19-yard line. Jalik Jagway handling the pass. And the Dragons move the chains. Clock stops with 9:49 to go. Blue Dragons have it at their own 20.
And as Shucker continues to complete more passes, the defense starts to get tired. You get more time, because the pass rush slows down. They don't rotate up front as much as Hutchinson. That's why it's important to keep completing passes and that defense out there.
Shucker unloads. It's popped up in the air, and it is caught by an offensive lineman. There'll be no gain on the play, but maybe one of the only catches in the career of that offensive lineman for the Blue Dragon. If he'll turn around, I'll tell you who it is.
Peyton Fears, number 76.
Okay. You got an Iowa Western player down on the field. Well, you attend to him. Just a quick point. Garcia was warming up, taking snaps. I had said during a break a while ago that Matt Jones came up limping a little bit. I'm not sure we're going to see him punt. I hope we don't even have to see it punt. I hope the Dragons can take it down, but they're attending to the Iowa Western player.
And Glenn, while they tend to him, talk a little bit about all of your great experiences with Jackson Meat.
Well, Jackson Meat is just one of the best stores around, locally owned by Drew and Jenny Bryant. They do a great job. They're busy with the fair right now, but stop at their little store at 13 West 6th anytime Monday through Friday, and then also, of course, till 1 o'clock on Saturdays. But the meat is aged. It's more than just a meat store. We talk about that. They have all kinds of things, cheeses and sauces. Just stop in there and see what they have to offer.
And this is a little bit more than a cramp, so let's go ahead and take a 30-second timeout for some of our great sponsors. More football, lots more football after this.
This is Carter File, president of Hutchinson Community College. The proud tradition of Blue Dragon athletics continues this fall. I encourage you to take advantage of the Blue Dragon All Sports ticket. For just $60 for adults and $40 for K through 8 students, you can enjoy over 50 athletic events at Hutchinson Community College. These are general admission tickets that include football, volleyball, men's and women's basketball, baseball, and other selected events. Get yours today at the sports arena or at area Dillon stores. Like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and keep current with all Blue Dragon athletic news and events at BlueDragonSports.com.
The injured player is Malcolm Lee. He walks off under his own power. Does not appear to be a serious injury at all, and that's good news.
But it does take another one of those big guys up front who have really pressured Hutchinson this entire game. Complete a couple passes here. Let's see how that pass rush slows down in this drive.
Shucker with time. Play action, throws it upfield. This one is going to be, fortunately for Hutchinson, not intercepted. That was not a good choice at all by Mason Shucker, and he is very, very, very lucky that that was not intercepted by Rodney Owens. Had it in his hands.
Double coverage. Thankfully, the wind is at his back because it was just maybe a half a yard too far from being intercepted. We're fortunate. Need to find a way to get a first down here.
3rd down 10. Reavers have really been tough defensively.
Give your quarterback time.
And there's a lot of deception. Throw over the middle. Jonathan White might get a first down. He might get more than that. He's at the 40. He's at the 45. He's at the 50. And down to the 43-yard line of the Reavers. What a play.
That was some incredible play calling. Glenn Grunwald chalk one up for the offensive coordinator.
I tell you what, he did a couple of play action fakes and then got those screen out there, and it was off to the races. One man to beat, and that man was not going to be beat. Knocked him out of bounds, but a great pickup on 3rd and 10.
And give the quarterback credit because he had 3 guys coming in his face and coming hard, and he managed to float the football out and make the completion. Good job to Shucker on that completion.
8:49 to go. Dragons down 10. Once down 24.
And even get a field goal on this drive, and you feel great.
Shucker rolling to his left, has time. Tough throw. Catch with Irwin. Catch made inside the 30.
Wow.
Irwin.
Big time throw and catch.
I agree. And the quarterback is right-handed, rolling to his left, throwing against the grain.
That's a hard throw.
Spectacular throw and catch.
And Irwin's a little banged up. He's going to come out and be attended to real quick.
Dragons at the 27-yard line of Iowa Western. Hutchinson coming back to make a game of this after it looked like they might be dead in the water. Now Shucker takes the snap. Play action. Rolling left. Has time. Looking. Floats it down the sideline. Throws it out of bounds and way too high for anybody to handle. Dalron Donaldson was the intended receiver, but he was way out of bounds.
I like the misdirection. They're mixing it up. They've got Iowa Western defensively on their heels. Everything was there. The receiver, though, just couldn't come open, and I'm loving the play calling and how we're mixing it up here in this quarter.
It is a second down and 10 at the 27-yard line. Time not yet a big factor. 8:15 to go. Mason Shucker draws pressure, delivers it over the middle. Grab and a first down at the 15-yard line. A strike, Kareem Brown.
Yep, actually going to spot it at the 14. First down, Hutchinson in business, and Shucker all of a sudden a different quarterback here in the fourth quarter.
He took his time, set it up. He caught Kareem Brown just right on the numbers. Good catch by Brown.
At the 14-yard line, Blue Dragons down 10. Shucker with Jonathan White at his side. Probably going to throw on most every play. Let's see what he does right here. And hands it off, and the Dragons test the middle of the field and will get a decent gain because of the success in the passing game.
Exactly.
Not a lot, about 2 or 3 yards for, once again, that is Jonathan White.
But here's the situation. You're down 2 scores. Regardless, you want a touchdown, of course, but worst case you get a field goal here and you cut it to a one-possession game.
Well, let's not forget about the problems with the kicking game.
I know.
With that run, he kept him honest.
Yep.
Second down, 7.5. Shucker has backs on either side of him this time.
Don't turn it over.
Floats it in the end zone, and it is overthrown. Maybe a half-step advantage for the intended receiver for the Blue Dragons, Dalron Donaldson. He was double covered, though. It would have taken an absolutely perfect strike to get it in his hands right on the back line of the end zone.
A lot of contact, letting it go. Hutchinson brings in 2 fresh players. They'll go big, bring in an extra tight end here. This is where, you don't have to score a touchdown. Just don't make a mistake.
But you want a touchdown.
You want a touchdown. Yes, I'm Greek.
They run a little misdirection play and wind up with the ball right in the middle of the field, and now they'll bring on the field goal team almost certainly on 4th down and 6 at about the 11-yard line. They'll put the ball down at the 18. It'll be a 28-yard field goal. Wind at the back of the Hutchinson kicker.
And at halftime, Rusty, I was watching the kicker from the 25 and 30-yard line into the wind, making them. The distance here is not even a question.
Sebastian Garcia is the Hutchinson kicker. He is 1 out of 3 on field goals. That one a 39-yarder. This one is up. It looks like it is good, and the officials confirm that the Blue Dragons have pulled within 7. 31-24, 6:26 to go in what has suddenly become quite a football game. And there's more of it when we return in half a minute.
When the air conditioning in your car doesn't work, it makes you feel like clothes left inside a dryer. If your car is making you hot and wrinkled, why not ride an air-conditioned RCAT bus to take you where you need to go? RCAT is first come, first served general public transportation. All buses are ADA accessible, have great air conditioning, comfortable seats, and skilled drivers. Fares range between 50 cents and $1. Call 694-2913 for information.
Once down 31-7, the Blue Dragons have come back to score 17 straight. And 6:26 still remains in what is all of a sudden a 7-point football game.
Kick the ball out of the end zone, wind at your back. Don't give them any kind of a return here.
The kick is long enough, and it will fly out the back end of the end zone. Landed about 5 yards behind the back line of the end zone, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. And now the Blue Dragon defense, wow, what an opportunity. Get a stop here, get the ball back, and improbably Hutchinson would have a chance to erase all of what was once a 24-point deficit.
Would you guys agree, as we've kicked the ball out of the end zone. We've had a punt return for a touchdown. Coverage on kickoff has been spectacular. Our punts have been good. Special teams today, I would give an A+.
There must have been a penalty because they put the ball down at the 30-yard line instead of the 25.
Didn't see a flag, but obviously there had to be something.
So it is at the 30 that the Reavers will begin. And they will begin with a running play up the middle and a big break to the outside, another spin move, and getting away for a whopper of a gain for Iowa Western. Tremendous run by Gay Florfomo. Had 18 carries for just 48 yards coming into this game, but he got on that one 15 and a big first down.
They just
for the
about
Reavers.
have to run the ball, Rusty, to take up a little time. I know they like to pass, but at the same time, they can ill afford to let the Blue Dragons have the ball again.
You know, when Hutchinson's down, a couple of defensive linemen, the depth showing up a little bit, and that time they bust a big one.
Well, I might be wrong, but I don't think they can pick up a whole lot of first downs running the ball.
I hope not.
We'll see. That was a big carry. They go back to Flomo, and he's loose.
No.
He spins at the 50-yard line, takes it down inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. All of a sudden, Gay Florfomo, big back, 5'9", 202, out of Fridley, Minnesota, with a couple of whopper runs, and he, on those two carries, has picked up 31 yards, and the Reavers now at the Hutchinson 39-yard line. Dragons cannot afford to give up anything score-wise.
Two guys down, and I saw Coach Roach signaling a play, and I'm not going to say you do this, but I'm just going to say you want to get some substitutions in here.
Both cramps.
You have a guy fall down, and, you know, maybe it is legitimately a cramp, but they were on their heels a little bit, and now you can substitute and try to slow down this rushing attack, which has busted off 2 in a row.
What a job, though, by the Reavers when they needed it. Gay Florfomo hasn't done anything, really hadn't done anything all season long, and all of a sudden he's the man of the hour. 2 whopping runs, totaling 31 yards, and the Reavers have flipped the field on the Blue Dragons. Hutchinson may get a stop, may prevent any scoring here, but if they get the ball back, it won't be with a short football field unless something highly unlikely occurs.
Glenn, one thing, you cannot give up any points on this drive.
No, you cannot. Matter of fact, you really need to stop them here. You can punt and try to get an opportunity to have the ball and do something in the last 5 minutes to 40 seconds.
You take a bad snap, you take a muff, a fumble, anything here to stop the momentum.
All right, we're ready to go. Clock on the move and taking his time, and rightfully so. Clay Beathard, now he'll take the snap, hands it off, and this time the Dragons are not going to give up much, but the run on first down will chew up 30 seconds or thereabouts, maybe 40 seconds off the clock. It was Fomo again, this time just a yard.
And Justin Harris, 42, that time up to the task as the carry goes for a yard.
Second down 9 at the 38-yard line of the Blue Dragons, who trail 31-24. A score of any flavor here for Iowa Western might be a game clincher. Clock down inside 5 minutes. If Dragons can't afford to give up a first down, there's a run again by Fomo, and he's able to get to the 35-yard line. It is 3rd down and 6.
Latrell Bankston with the tackle. So you've got a 3rd down long situation. You're not in field goal range, kicking into the wind. Probably, I don't know if you punt the ball if you get a stop here, but you at least force a decision.
3 timeouts for the Blue Dragons. If they get a stop here on 3rd down, they will likely perhaps spend one of those.
Plenty of time. Time right now not a factor. What is a factor is getting a stop here on this 3rd down. Big play. See if Hutchinson brings pressure.
Beathard actually loads it up to throw, throws it over the middle. It is incomplete. Knocked out of the hands of the intended receiver in the middle of the field. A nice job done defensively by Blue Dragon defender. That was Dayton Thomas.
And it was a textbook play by the secondary. Got his hand in there. Again, the ball was perfectly thrown by Beathard. He has just been on fire, and it took the Dragons making a super play, of which now the punting unit comes in. I say, get away from this ball. I mean, don't even take a chance of messing this up. And
but back is the dangerous, very dangerous Jalen Irwin. He has a punt return for a touchdown. This punt is high. This punt will land and be down inside the 5 at about the 2. So if Hutchinson's going to get it done, they've got a lot of real estate to cover. They have 350 to do it, but 98 yards is what it'll take.
Glenn Grunwald, all you can ask is for a chance, and you've got one.
Yeah, you do have you have the possession. Yeah, it's at the 2 like Rusty described, but 3:50 to go, enough time. You just can't make any mistakes and see what can happen.
You got to take it play by play. You know, one play at a time, first down after first down. You can't look at the big picture and try to get out of your end zone here.
Exactly.
All right, quarterback will stand in the end zone. That quarterback has done quite a job there in the second half, Mason Shucker. Let's see what he can get done. He hands off, and the Dragons do well to get out of the end zone.
Back to the line of scrimmage. It's not easy. Probably going to have to throw it out of there. You're taking some chances.
Gain of 1. Gain of 1 gives him a little bit more room. Hey, just a little chuckle. Halftime score from Dodge City. Dodge 72-0 over Gordon School of Fine Arts and Sports Academy out of Oklahoma City. 72-0 at halftime.
Okay. Yeah. Hutchinson has Resolution Prep coming in later.
That is true.
Big play. Dragons trying to get out of the end zone. I don't know whether they did or not. It's a safety.
They did not.
Why do you run left to right out of your end zone? I do not get that one.
Well, that will do it most likely because now it becomes a 2-score game.
Sure does. That's 9 points. There's no single 9-point play. There's an 8-point chance, but not 9.
You know, Dragons trying to make something happen. I don't like the call either.
You just can't go left or right out of your end zone. You got to go either straight at them, play action, pass, try to complete something over the middle with your tight end, and that's one Hutchinson is not going to like watching again when you do the film.
But the same staff that's made all of the exciting calls that have worked for the Dragons here in this comeback make that one. So
it's a wash.
I mean, you got to take some chances. But I agree, that's a dangerous call running laterally when you're running in your end zone. You're never sure you're going to get a chance to turn up field, and no opportunity there. Now the Dragons will pump the football away, and you can just about bet that it will be run for Iowa Western.
Well, you got 3 timeouts left. You're going to get the ball back.
Yeah,
probably.
do a little clock management here.
But how do you get the ball back, score, then you have to get an onside kick, score.
Yep.
That
one probably did it.
Is about the worst possible thing that could have happened there other than fumble the ball in the end zone and they get a touchdown.
All right, Dragons free kick from the 20-yard line. They'll kick from placement and should kick it quite a ways, and they do. They drill it downfield, and it's going to bounce all the way into the end zone.
That's a weapon.
That is a heck of a kick.
My goodness.
That thing carried 75 yards.
They had the returner set up at the 30-yard line, and it went over his head and rolled into the end zone and back outside the end zone.
Sebastian Garcia has quite a leg.
Well, I want to remind everybody the 106th year of the State Fair is underway, and the VW Morning Crew will be out there Monday through Friday from 7 o'clock until 10 each and every day. So stop by and see us at the Pools Plus booth.
Where's that located at?
That is located at the corner of Lake Talbot, basically in Fort Leavenworth Boulevard.
Which you called Leavenberry.
I know, 11, yeah, okay.
Leavenworth.
Yeah, Leavenworth, Leavenworth, not Fort Leavenworth. There's different. So anyway, timeout on the
Iowa Western, a little state of confusion out there, but they're in an enviable spot. And instead of taking a break right now, we're just simply going to tell you that it is high school football homecoming next Friday night, and Country 102.9 will have Salt Hawk football throughout the year. Football homecoming against Garden City. It'll be 2 teams badly in need of a victory. Homecoming festivities will be around. The pageantry will be good, and one of those 2 teams is going to get a badly needed win. And a lot of us are certainly hoping it is the Salt Hawks.
Well, the Chiefs will get the season underway tomorrow as they'll be on the
Late
road.
game, isn't it?
Yep, 3 o'clock against the L.A. Chargers.
Yeah, that's hard to say.
It is hard to say.
It's hard to say, and against Mr. Gruden.
No. He's with Oakland.
Oh, you're right. The L.A. Chargers. See, you had me confused. You're
this
right.
This is Philip Rivers.
Philip Rivers and company.
All of his funness.
Patrick Mahomes making his first appearance of the season, obviously, in a game for the Chiefs.
That'll be
a lot expected of that young man.
Starts at 2 o'clock pregame on KWBW.
And they go to the run, straight ahead.
Nothing.
Dragons will have to spend a timeout. They can't let much time run off. They haven't called it yet.
They won't have it. So they'll wait till the next play, and you got to pick and choose here. They're going to get 3 plays anyway, so you hope you get a stop here, call a timeout, and
there'll be less than 2.5 minutes to go when this ball gets snapped. Because I would assume right now the play clock is at 17. They're not going to snap it early. Dragons, to have a chance, almost have to get some kind of a takeaway.
You know, but to take your hat off to Hutchinson,
they
looked like they were buried and made this a heck of a contest.
Quarterback hangs on to it. And
there's your timeout.
And there's the timeout. We'll take this break. 2:27 to go in the football game. With the timeout on the field, the score, Iowa Western 33, Hutchinson 24. This will be a half-minute break.
Just as the Hutchinson Blue Dragons athletics are a tradition, so is the Anchor Inn in downtown Hutchinson. Whether you plan lunch or dinner or even take out for home, the Anchor Inn is a great family restaurant that you are sure to enjoy. Order off their great menu or take advantage of the Anchor Inn's awesome buffet. You'll make a great choice either way. The Anchor Inn is also a great spot to meet up with old friends and acquaintances because everyone goes to the Anchor. That's the Anchor Inn at 128 South Main in Hutchinson, proud supporters of Hutchinson Blue Dragon Athletics.
Fort Scott's Greyhounds will be in Gowans Stadium next Saturday as the Blue Dragons continue a significant homestand.
Yep, 3 in a row here at home. And Fort Scott, talk about a team that can put up some points.
Yeah, they don't.
No easy games in the conference.
No, there won't be. This is a heck of a conference. A lot of talent on the part of all of these teams with unlimited out-of-state scholarships available. Beathard actually looks like he wants to throws it high, delivers it upfield. It is about 2 yards short of a first down at the 33, and Hutchinson will take a timeout. And I can't imagine that the Reavers would go for it on 4th and 2 here.
He threw into a crowd, too. That was an opportunity. So,
yep.
Wow. A couple of shows coming up on Monday night. Dragon Talk, Rob Dreher and Coach Rhodes. He'll talk about this ball game, and then we have the Reno County Coaches Show and more making its fall 2018 debut. So
I know we're going to talk, I think, with the head football coach at Nickerson. Is that right, Glenn?
Yeah, Nickerson.
I had Kat Russell, who's the volleyball coach at Buhler.
Yeah, they're off to a good start.
All they've done is move up to number 2 in the volleyball rankings in Class 4A, and they've already knocked off number 1 ranked Rose Hill.
Yeah, so tune in for that at 6:30 on BW.
Now Irwin back to field this punt. And Dragons need a big run back. Try to get to the punt. And there's no flag dropped. Coaches to our left thought that running into the punter or roughing the punter could have been called. It was not.
Yeah.
Irwin doesn't field the punt. Dragons have it at the 28-yard line, needing 2 scores with 2:11 to play. Pretty unlikely, but we'll see what Hutchinson can do.
Well, there was contact, and the punter was bumped, and, of course, he fell down, which you're taught to do, but the officials were smartly watching and didn't call a penalty there.
Hey, guys, kudos to the longest-distance listener today, Jay Syriac, calling from Paris. Is listening to us. Coach Syriac.
Well, we hope Jay is having a great time. Yeah. He worked so hard during the basketball season. Nice to see him getting a little bit of a break.
Oui. I agree.
Ball thrown over the middle, catch made, short gain of about 5. Jalik Jagway's having a nice afternoon with a lot of catches.
Yeah, Jalik, he's got 9 catches, over 50 yards receiving. He's been a major target in this game.
Second down, half a dozen. The big factor, though, the clock. It's under 2 minutes to go. Dragons can't afford to throw a whole lot of short passes. They throw another one, and a good job of running after the catch. will get the Dragons within a yard of a first down. More importantly, Khalil McLean able to get out of bounds.
Officials missed one there because number 4, Chester Graves, stuck his foot out. That's called tripping. Officials didn't drop the flag. That's a big penalty if it's caught, and the officials turned their head to that one.
3rd down and 2 at the 36-yard line, obviously 4-down territory.
You got to go down the field more, though.
And I don't think he's going to have time. No. Smothered is Mason Shucker, and he's down in a pile of bodies back at the 31-yard line. And the last chance of this football game for the Blue Dragons might be this next snap. And before it occurs, we'll have Hutchinson utilizing its final timeout. A 30-second break, and we'll be right back.
Nextech Wireless Advance Pay gives you great coverage, 4G LTE data, and you'll love the price. Plans start at $25 a month. Nextech Wireless Advance Pay is hassle-free too. No contracts, no credit checks, and you can even bring your own device. Sign up now and get a free month of service when you purchase a new device or receive a free Moto E smartphone with new activation. It's Advance Pay at Nextech Wireless, starting at just $25 per month.
Well, the Dragons are down likely to their final opportunity of the afternoon, and their chances are slim because they have to score twice thanks to the safety that they gave up about 3 or 4 minutes ago that probably took the game out of reach. But they need 7.
Yep, on 4th down nonetheless.
Desmond Jackson back beside quarterback Mason Shucker. Shucker back to throw. Pressure comes. Shucker throws, and it is caught. Caught at the 47-yard line. Nice crossing pattern. Jalik Jagway with his 10th catch of the afternoon.
He has been really special, and that's a good job by the quarterback, rolling to the right, avoids any kind of a pass rush and puts one on the dime. Hutchinson's still alive.
90 seconds to go. You have to score a touchdown, have to recover an onside kick, score again. Odds are heavily against it, but boy, have the Blue Dragons battled back after they trailed 31-7. Shucker rolling to his left, buying some time, now unloads and throws it away.
Smart play.
Yep.
What you got to do also is use those edges, Rob, because you don't have any timeouts. You do, if you catch it, you got to get out of bounds.
Yep, or if you get the first down, everybody's got to know you got to get up to the line of scrimmage and get the play off quickly. We're down to the final minute 24. This contest started at noon. We are 3 hours, 6 minutes in.
Lots of throwing taking place by both teams.
It's been an entertaining afternoon,
sure
though. I don't think football fans would wish for this game to have been any shorter in duration.
There is so much talent on the field in this game. I don't know that folks even appreciate how many unbelievable athletes are out there playing football.
A lot of misdeception. Then the Dragons try to get it on the sideline to Kareem Brown breaking downfield. The ball thrown a little bit behind him, incomplete.
Under pressure again, and good thing is the clock stops. Bad thing is you got a 3rd and 10, and you're running out of precious time.
Maybe the difference in this football game has been that Iowa Western has been able to apply more pressure than the Dragons. Now, lately in the game, the last quarter, Hutchinson's put a lot of pressure on Beathard, but early on, it was the other way around.
Yeah, Winfrey and Drew have been in his face all day long.
Ball delivered over the middle, catch made in the middle of the field. It'll be short of the first down. The clock will not stop. They're grabbed by Khalil McLean at the 46-yard line of the Reavers.
And it's 4th down. You got to complete this pass for a first down.
And the Dragons can't waste any time. Shucker looks at a play on his wrist. He's going to have to create something. Inside, a minute to go. This game depends on success on this play. He is hit as he unloads. Throws it downfield. Cut! Owen inside the 10 to the 9-yard line.
You got to get down
there
and spike it. Get out.
What a throw.
Well, they stopped it for the first down. So.
Yep, right.
Oh, what a grab. Downfield by Irwin. Dragons at the 9.
Still got time. Get a touchdown, and who knows?
And the ball floated for Khalil McLean. Contact in the end zone, no call.
Yeah,
there is a flag drop, though, back where the quarterback launched it. You know, guys, it's almost silly for me to say this, but why not? You got to score twice. Why not kick the field goal now? Try to get the ball back.
Roughing the passer.
And this is going to move the ball half the distance to the goal line. First down, 36 seconds to go, and Rusty, you're right. I mean,
I'd take the field goal right now, try to recover an onside kick, and have maybe as much as 26, 27 seconds to do something with it.
Although, if you can score on this possession here, you're only going to take maybe 5 seconds off the clock. But, boy, this is where you need a touchdown right here.
Ball unloaded and is caught but short of the goal line, and that is a killer. Dragons have to hurry. Caught it at about the 1. Clock continues to run. Another throw caught by Jalik Jagway. And now
down it.
23, 22, 21 seconds, and they down it. And 17 seconds remain. Dragons are third down and a little over a yard from the end zone. And now, guys, how big is that safety?
Yeah, that's big. Huge. Irwin got hurt on the catch a little while ago. He's on the sidelines, guys, so you don't have your top receiver in there.
Well, what a job by the Blue Dragons. They have just battled and battled and battled. And if you were here, and if you're a fan of the Blue Dragons, as most of our listeners are, this team has a chance to be special. Now the ball floated, and it is out of the reach of everybody in the back corner of the end zone, trying to get it to Khalil McLean. And now, 14 seconds to go, 4th down and 2. Might as well take another shot at the end zone.
Yeah, you could do either or. You could kick the field goal here, get it onside kick, but you're down this far, so you're just gambling. You're saying we're going to score a touchdown here and then onside and try to get the kick.
Might try to run it in. Nobody would expect that. They give to Desmond Jackson. He battles. He's turned back at the goal line. Did not get in. Did not get in. Half a yard shy, and this ball game is over. The Reavers hold on downs at the 1/2 yard line and will walk out of Gowans Stadium on this Saturday afternoon with a hard-fought 33-24 win over a very good Hutchinson team.
Take your hat off to this Dragon team, though. I mean, yeah, he was stopped, and you made a good call, Rusty. Run it. He did. And I'm going to tell you, he got within 6 inches of the goal line.
Yeah, I do not know which player it was that made the hit, but it was a heck of a hit at the half-yard line because Jackson, a strong kid, did everything he could to get in the end zone. Even if he does, it is highly unlikely that the Dragons could have gotten the ball back in time to score again.
But never did they quit.
Now, this could be interesting because there's 10 seconds left. You could get a safety.
Yeah. But they will not.
They will not, yeah.
And that will do it. Running play on the last play of the game, and give credit to the Iowa Western Reavers. They defeat the Blue Dragons in Gowans Stadium in a very, very entertaining game, 33-24. Blue Dragons season record now 2-1. Iowa Western number 2 in the country, enhancing its status at 3-0. Our postgame from Gowans begins in a couple of minutes.
Hi, Brian Bobo, General Manager at Midwest Toyota. Well, it's that time of year. That is model year closeout time. And at Midwest Toyota, we have the rebates on select models of $1,500 on new Tacomas, new Ford